Hello and welcome to this Amazon FBA Private Label Masterclass. This is a step-by-step tutorial. We're going to give you everything you need to start a successful Amazon FBA Private Label business. Now we're going to be spending a couple of hours together and we're going to cover everything from setting up your seller account all the way through to finding, ranking and launching your product on Amazon, getting to page 1 and having a viable business that can generate at least $10,000 a month in revenue and get you out of the 9 to 5. The first thing we're going to cover is why you should start an Amazon FBA business right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So one of the first reasons why you should start an Amazon FBA business is the fact that you can leverage Amazon FBA or Fulfilled by Amazon. Now how this works is you get your supplier in China to send your goods to America or the UK or wherever you're selling your products to the Amazon fulfillment centers, and Amazon handle absolutely everything. So they store, pick, pack and ship your products to customers when they place an order, and they deal with returns as well. So you're leveraging Amazon's logistics and you're leveraging the time and efforts of their workforce, while all you have to do is make sure your product's in stock and manage your ads. So this is a super simple business model that anyone can do, and it cuts out all of the hard parts about running a business. That's why you want to be selling on Amazon. The second reason is that with an Amazon FBA business, you're divorcing your time from money, so you're no longer tied to a desk. Now let's think about if you work a generic job. The only way to increase your income is to work more hours, which there are only a set amount of hours in a day, or to get a promotion, which isn't always possible. Both of those you're not in control with. Now let's look at an Amazon FBA business. To increase your income in an Amazon FBA business, you can either launch new products or you can scale existing products using ads to reach new audiences, both of which you're in control of. So it's a completely different ballgame. When I run my Amazon FBA business, I can be on vacation anywhere in the world. To run this business model, all I need is a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. Complete game changer for me. It's also enabled me to get into new business ventures such as real estate, something I couldn't do whilst I was tied to a desk in the 9 to 5 grind. By starting an Amazon FBA business, you're divorcing your time from money and you can open up new opportunities. The third reason is that starting an Amazon FBA business isn't expensive in the grand scheme of things. Now let's start to think about if you were to start a traditional brick and mortar store, let's say a restaurant. You probably need about $80,000 to get it off the ground. You've got to pay salaries, you've got to pay rent for your premises, and there's a whole host of other costs such as energy, etc, etc. Now let's look at an Amazon FBA private label business. There's no rent, you don't need to pay any salaries, and all you need to do is pay storage fees and order the products from your manufacturer, get them shipped in to Amazon. Overheads are nothing like a traditional brick and mortar store. So that's why I love running an Amazon FBA private label business, because I'm outsourcing so much stuff and I'm not paying the main bulk of it. So I'm selling products on Amazon, being anywhere in the world, and I don't have to have the traditional upkeep and costs of a traditional business. So you can start an Amazon FBA private label business for anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the type of product you pick, the freight costs, storage costs, etc. That is a very small fraction of what you'd have to pay for a traditional brick and mortar store. And you can scale the business to heights over and above what a traditional brick and mortar store can do once you start scaling products, adding new brands in, and really developing and building your business. The fourth reason is that with an Amazon FBA private label business, you're building equity from day one. Unlike retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and wholesale, where you're making a quick flip, making money, but you have no equity, with a private label business, you retain full equity, which means that you have a business that you can sell. So if you check out websites like Empire Flippers, you can see businesses that are for sale for 6, 7, and sometimes even 8 figures. So not only are you generating a cash flowing business, which gives you higher margins than some of the other business models on Amazon when you're looking at FBA, but you're also generating a business that you can sell further on down the line for a big payout. Next is the fact that there's a wealth of information out there to get you started. I mean, look at us right now. We're spending time together. You're learning about why you should start an Amazon FBA business. So there's a huge community of Amazon FBA, and particularly Amazon FBA private label sellers out there that are willing to share information for free. So it's not like an industry where everyone gatekeeps and no one tells you the ins and outs. It's a very open industry where everyone wants you to succeed and do well on Amazon. So this is a great place to be. It's great to network and you can meet like-minded people very, very easily within this space. So that's another reason why you should start an Amazon FBA business. The sixth and final reason is that everyone says Amazon FBA is saturated. So I started my Amazon FBA journey all the way back in 2019, and I remember hearing that then, people saying that you shouldn't start an Amazon FBA business because it's entirely saturated and you can't make money in the space. Now I'm here to tell you that that is absolute rubbish. We have students within our Accelerator 2.0 program that are launching products left, right, and center. Me and my business partner Michael, we're launching products. We actually have a brand together that we co-founded. So there's so much opportunity out there, and anyone who says it's saturated simply either doesn't have an Amazon FBA business or is looking in the wrong areas. If I started looking at selling socks or sneakers, yeah, it's going to be saturated. But if I start looking at Ziploc bag organizers, all of a sudden the tables have turned and there's a lot more viability with products like that. So know what you're doing, know how to look for products, and you will find that Amazon FBA isn't saturated. So that's the final reason why you should start an Amazon FBA business. So I hope you guys have your notepads ready, because in this section, we're gonna cover step by step how you create an Amazon seller account. And I'm gonna show you the exact steps to get it done. But before we get into that, there's an elephant in the room that I want to address. A lot of people come to us and they ask us which country should we start selling in when we actually create our Amazon account. Now, primarily you wanna be selling in the USA, because that's the biggest marketplace. But the top 4 biggest marketplaces on Amazon are the USA, UK, Germany, and Canada. So pick one of those 4. But primarily, my answer to this will always be sell in the USA, even if you're not based there, because that's the biggest marketplace. That's the place where you're going to find the most products and you have the biggest opportunity to make the most money. So the USA it is. Now, without further ado, let's get into how you set up your seller account. Okay, let's go through exactly everything you need to create your own Amazon seller account so you can actually sell on the Amazon platform. This is the first step in your journey to selling on Amazon. It's going to cost you $39.99 a month. However, the caveat to that is that in the beginning, you will pay that $39.99 and you won't pay that again on a monthly basis until your first batch of products lands at Amazon. So let's get into actually creating your account. First thing you're going to do is click sign up, and then it's going to prompt you to put in your login details. You're creating a new account, so you want to hit create your Amazon account. Then you're going to put in your details, so John Doe, and I've actually created an email specifically for this. So my first Amazon store 99@gmail.com. Gmail accounts are free, by the way. Then we're going to put in our password. So I'm going to send an OTP to our address. So I'm just going to verify that now. Once we put that information in, we're going to come to this screen. It's going to say we need to provide our information in documents. Amazon will verify our submission, and then we'll get verified and start selling. What you'll need, so as a prerequisite, make sure you guys have this, is a valid government issued ID or passport, a recent bank account or credit card statement, a chargeable credit card, and a mobile phone. So once you've got everything and you're ready to go, just hit begin. So the first stage is the business information, and you need to put in the location of your business. So let's just say I'm a US based resident, because a lot of you watching this will be based in the States. So I'm going to put down United States. It will then ask me my business type or entity type. Now, a lot of the times in the beginning, you're not going to have your LLC set up and you're not going to be ready to go from the offset. So you will just be a regular individual. So I recommend everyone just put none, I'm an individual. If you have an LLC or you have a business, that is the preferred way of going about this. But always wait until you start earning some revenue from Amazon before you actually decide where you want to go with that. So once you start earning revenue, just put in your LLC information. But in the beginning, just put none, I'm an individual. We're then going to put our information in here. So first name, middle name, and surname. And then hit I confirm that my business location and type are correct, and I understand this information cannot be changed later, and then hit agree and continue. Next stage is the seller information. So this is actual information about yourself. So again, your first name, middle name, surname, your country of citizenship. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to put United States again here. Country of birth, United States. Date of birth. Obviously I'm putting in false information, but you want to put in your real information here. Identity proof, so whether you're using a driver's license or a passport, you want to put in what you're using here. Most of you are going to be using a passport, so I'm going to put passport here. Country of issue would be United States. Passport number, so you put in your passport number here. The date of expiry of your passport, you put it in there. And also your residential address as well. And then you indicate where you want to receive the PIN to verify this. You can do SMS or you can do a call with Amazon. Once you have everything filled out, you want to hit send SMS. It's going to send an SMS code to your phone. And then once we verify through that, we can go to the next stage. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is stage 2 of signing up for a seller account. We're going to need to now input all the billing information. So we need bank account information and we need credit card information. So let's go ahead and hit continue. So firstly, we're adding in our bank account information. So you've got your name that you signed up with here. You put in your country, your financial institution name, routing number, banking account number, and then you retype your bank account number. And then you're going to hit verify bank account. Now, depending on the bank account that you've registered with, you will get this message or you won't get this message. So bank account verification is pending. The financial institution I've selected is not eligible for instant verification. So I'm required to upload a bank statement later on during the registration process. So now that we've done that, the next stage is to hit continue and go on to what's next. Now we have to enter our credit card information, which is to do with the monthly subscription fee and for any extra charges that our Amazon account would levy. So we need to put in a valid card number here. So I want to go ahead and put that information in. Once I've completed that, I'm going to hit next. So the next stage is to create the name for your store. You can change this further on down the line, but I always like to lead with the right foot. So I'm just going to put in a name. Now Amazon's going to ask you, do you have universal product codes, UPCs for all your products? Yes, because we're selling private label products, we will have barcodes, UPC codes. We get them from GS1. Do you have any diversity certifications? If this is applicable to your business, put it in. It's not in my case. And are you the manufacturer or brand owner for any of the products you want to sell on Amazon? Yes, we're the manufacturer or brand owner. Do you own a government registered trademark for the branded products you want to sell on Amazon? If you already have your product's trademark, click yes. We don't at the moment, so I'm going to hit no. And then once we're finished, we hit next. Now, the next and final stage of the Amazon seller account sign-up process is the identity and address verification. So all we're going to do here is it's going to show us our information here, and all we need to do is upload a passport and upload a bank account statement, and then we're going to hit next. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then this is the next and final stage where Amazon will ask you to either take a photo of your face using your device camera so that they can trace it and compare it to your government issued ID document to complete the verification, or you can join a video call with an Amazon associate where Amazon will schedule a call with you. You'll come to the call with your camera on and you'll be able to show your identity documents next to your face, proof of ID, proof of address, etc. And then basically that then grants you, if everything checks out, access to your Amazon account and you're all set up and you're ready to sell on the Amazon platform. Super, super easy, super, super simple, guys. This is everything you need to set up your Amazon seller account. Just before we wrap this section up, I want you to know that there might be additional documents that you need to provide. So be prepared to have an additional proof of ID, an additional proof of address, and additional credit card statement if it's necessary, because Amazon might request these. And if you don't have them to hand, it can hold up your account creation. So make sure you have these. Now, without further ado, let's get into setting up your LLC. So now we've come to the section of the course where we need to talk about setting yourself up as a business entity going forward and how you want to approach this. So typically when you start off on Amazon, it's okay to be an individual and you can go it alone, you can go it solo. But as soon as you start making money, you want to set yourselves up in a way which is tax advantageous and gives you the required protections so that you're not liable for absolutely everything. Now, in this video, I want to talk about setting up an LLC. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it using a company called Inkfile. But before we get into that, I want to go through the reasons why we want to set up an LLC and why it's beneficial to you as a business to be under an LLC umbrella and not solo. So the first reason is that there's tax advantages of being an LLC. So when it comes to paying tax efficiently and reducing that tax threshold, there's many things you can do under an LLC umbrella that are going to mean that you reduce the amount of money that you pay in taxes. So you can expense a bunch of stuff. There's various different avenues you can go down to lower your tax thresholds. You can't do that as an individual. So that's number one. The second thing is the limited liability that an LLC affords you. So let's say you're selling a product on Amazon and for whatever reason a customer wants to sue you or create a lawsuit against you. If you're not an LLC and just an individual, all of your personal belongings, everything you own is liable to be sued. However, if you have an LLC, only things inside the business umbrella are liable. So anything you have personally, your personal cars, your personal home, personal assets, etc., wouldn't be liable for that lawsuit. Only things you have inside the LLC would be. So those are two main reasons we want to set up an LLC going forward, especially for an Amazon entity. Now, if you're based in the UK or Canada, I want to talk about two things that are specific to you guys. You can go with the business corporations that you can levy in your countries, and you don't have to go down the LLC route if you don't want to. So if you're in the UK, that's a limited company. If you're in Canada, that's a corporation. So I sell products in the USA. I sell them through my limited company here in the UK. I haven't created an LLC because I don't need to. So just two considerations there. Now, to set up an LLC, you can use an agent or you can do it alone. I recommend you use an agent. One of the agents that we recommend is Inkfile. It's the one we're going to be using in the screen share in a minute. But if you use an agent, it's super easy. You do have to pay a little bit more, but it's going to save you a lot of headache when it comes to the nitty-gritty admin bits and pieces. Before I show you the screen share, I want to go into what state you should file your LLC in, because that's going to pay an impact into how much taxes you pay, etc. I recommend you go for states that don't have any state tax. So these are Wyoming, South Dakota, Texas, Nevada, and Delaware. So file your LLC in these states because they're going to have no state tax. It's going to save you a bunch of money when it comes to filing taxes. Super easy to do. We can do it all through Inkfile. I want to take you guys through it right now. So let's do a screen share. Hey guys, so this is the website we're going to use to file our LLC. It's called inkfile.com. You can use other websites, but I recommend this one. They make it super easy for you to file your LLC and actually get it up and running. So what we're going to do is come to the top right here and click Incorporate Now. I was doing this before, so I'll start over. So we want to pick LLC from the drop down and we want to pick the state we want to file in. I'm going to pick Wyoming because they're one of the ones I love because they have no income tax. So let's go ahead and pick Wyoming. Now we need to pick
one of the packages. So, I think the silver is fine. It includes the preparing and filing of the articles of organization. It has name searches within there, so you can actually pick an LLC name. Has a free registered agent and also unlimited phone and email support. If you need a bunch of other stuff like EIN codes, which we'll talk about later on in this video, and a few other things, you can have it there, or you can go for the platinum, which has basically everything, all singing, all dancing. For most of you, silver is going to be okay, but some of you might want to upgrade to gold. So make sure you take your time to go through what each package comes with, so you can be well informed. But for now, let's just say we're going with silver. Let's click silver. So we need to fill out our information. So I'm going to do that. And let's pick a phone number. And then we hit a mailing address, right? And then we hit next. And then we need to pick how quickly we want this to be done. So default is 3 weeks filing time. Obviously, that's 3 weeks time is free. If you wanted to upgrade that to the fast track, which essentially 1 day filing time is $50, we'd select that here. So I'm going to go with fast track. I think a lot of you are going to want to fast track this, so we'll select that. And on the right-hand side here, we can see the summary, right? So we've got the LLC, the silver package is free. Wyoming charge $102 to get the LLC set up, and then expedited filings $50. So right now we're at $152, which isn't too bad to protect our liability. Now we select the LLC name. So this does a name search. So we want to make sure that we type the LLC name in there. We are not encroaching on anyone else who has the same LLC name as us. So we want to select that there. So we'll put in that LLC name. Let's just say John Rambo LLC. Designator, you can choose how you want the LLC to actually look. I'm just going to put LLC. Number of members, 1 is just going to be me. Business purposes, to spread the word about Amazon FBA. Let's put that. What business is the industry in? I'm going to put e-commerce. Select whichever one is most relevant. I'll just choose pet stores, retail. Are you registered in entity containing a word of a foreign language? Nope. And then company address information. I recommend that you choose to also go for the virtual mail service. If you're using your own address, your personal address will be available to customers on Amazon and people looking at your storefront. So we want to make sure we protect ourselves by picking the virtual mail service and professional business address. The premium service does come, like I mentioned, with the EIN tax ID number, which is something we probably want to have. So think about that if that's something you need. So go through and make sure you pick the service which is most relevant for you. As I said, for most of you, silver is going to be all right, but you might want to upgrade to gold if you see that you find value within that. And now I'm providing member information. So you're double checking the information on the members. Yep, I like that. So we're going John Rambo. And I have 100% of ownership. So I'm going to hit next. And now you can select whether or not you want InkFile to actually designate you a registered agent. Yeah, I want to use them as a registered agent. I get 1 year free registered agent service, so I don't have to pay for it for the first year. So that's free. Really good. They'll file it for me. Seeing as I don't live in Wyoming, I need to use them. So this is a great service. We want to add that on. It's free for the first year. EIN tax ID number essentially is your social security number for your business. And Amazon might ask for this. Your suppliers, when you order from websites like Alibaba, might ask for this. So we probably want to get that. That's $70. So we want to say yes to that. And then now we fill out our information again. I'm a foreign individual to have a social security number. Yes. We want to check the statement. Agree to that. Physical street address here. Yep. Next. And then we can choose to have our documents sent to us electronically or via FedEx. I'm going to go electronic here. Do I want tax consultation? No, I don't want tax consultation. Next. Do I want any licenses? No, I don't want any licenses. Next. Then order review, just again, recap on the information given with the cost to the top right. So this is going to cost me $251 because I've opted for the silver package. With the Wyoming state filing fee, I want it expedited. So next day, I've want a virtual business address and a mailing address. So I've got that. I'll use them as a registered agent for the first year. It's free. But I also want to pay $70 more to get my EIN or my tax ID. So double check all the information is correct, hit next. And then when you're ready, obviously you fill out your payment information and then you just hit complete and pay. And essentially then they file your LLC for you. So it's really simple, guys, super easy. Let's flip back to talk more about LLCs.
So make sure you're getting an EIN number as you're importing goods from China to the USA. Select that option inside InkFile. Let's talk quickly about taxes. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional, so seek professional advice for your taxes. If we're looking at, from a tax perspective, what it looks like inside an LLC, you're taxable on two things. So firstly, there's tax due on any profits you make, obviously. There's also a 15.3% self-employment tax. My advice, however, is if you are earning more than $50,000 a year out of this business, you want to set yourself up as an S Corp, because then what you'll be able to do is any salary that you pay yourself will be deductible from the business. So let's say you pay yourself $200,000 and you make $500,000. that $200,000 can come off that $500,000, which reduces your tax threshold. So instead of being taxed on $500,000, you're now taxed on only $300,000. So make sure you guys look into that if you're looking to make over $50,000 or you're currently at that stage. And let's talk quickly about sales tax as well. So with Amazon, sales tax is actually taken at point of sale, unlike in the UK where you have to collect the sales tax yourself and then pay it to the taxman. In America, what happens is the sales tax is actually paid by the customer. So every state has their own sales tax. You can see it inside your Amazon orders when you get orders on Amazon. But essentially, you don't have to worry about that. So don't worry about sales tax. That's all handled by Amazon. The main thing that you will need to worry about is the tax due on profits and how to pay yourself efficiently. So an S Corp is my advice, and that's where you want to get that structured and get that going. Now, let's get onto some of the tools that you'll need inside your Amazon business.
Now, one of the tools you're going to be using the most, and this really becomes your bread and butter, is the SniperInsights tool. Now, this is primarily a product research tool where you're going to be able to find products, analyze products, and find out whether or not a product is a potential opportunity for you then to go and pursue, do further due diligence on, and potentially reach out to suppliers and see if you can get the ball rolling with launching that product. But it's way more than that. So I'm going to quickly go through the features we have inside our SniperInsights tool and why it will be one of the best tools you'll have within your arsenal of tools. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth here because Michael, in the next chapter, is going to take you through a complete overview of the tool. I'm just going to tell you very high level the different aspects and tools which we have inside of SniperInsights. So the first section is product research. We've got everything you need for product research. Our Chrome extension allows you to see behind Amazon's results and really drill down into the data points inside of the different products that you're finding. Our hot products tool will be able to show you existing hot products that are ripe to sell on the platform right now. We've got our preset filters in there that help you pull out those hot products. We've got a validator, which helps to look at the suitability of your product, whether or not it's a good shout or not, based on preset filters that we have within our tool. And then a sales estimator, which shows you how many sales products will make per month. You can do a deep dive analysis on that. Once you've found a potential product, we've got our sales optimization section here. So we go through all the keywords, so you can look at the keyword research and look at the search volume and all the data points that sit behind the keywords that you find. We've got our reverse ASIN tool to reverse ASIN look up the competitors that you have in your space and look at the keywords that they're looking at. So you can potentially steal keywords and know what keywords to rank on for your product. We've got a review automation. You can automate your review request. Sniper tracker, so you can track your keyword rank. So if you're looking at potential products or competitors, you can track their rank. And when you launch your product, you can also track your keyword rank. Then we've got our alert section, so you get important notifications and alerts on your listings and your seller account. Then we've got our listing optimization section, so AI Lister to create your listing, Listify to further enhance that, Listing Optimizer to get a listing done for you if you wanted to use that service, and also our Photo Enhancer, where we can edit your existing photos, add infographics, create lifestyle images, hero images, etc. That is also another service that we offer inside of SniperInsights. Then we've got our profits dashboard. We go through all the different numbers so you can really get down to how much profit you're making, profit margins. We've got inventory forecasting, inventory management here. We've got various reports and our expense manager. So everything to do with numbers, if you want to crunch numbers, know where you're standing, your ACOS, your profit margin, your return on investment, etc. That's all within the profits section of SniperInsights. And finally, we've got our Sniper PPC. And in this section, we really go through your PPC in depth. So we look at your PPC dashboard so you know your insights. We've got an ads manager, so you can see all your campaigns in one place and quickly analyze there. You can filter by ROAS, by PPC, etc. We've got PPC reports, and we've also got PPC Autopilot, which is our in-house service at SniperInsights, so we will manage your PPC for you for an additional fee. So if you're interested in that, do get in touch. But SniperInsights is going to be your one-stop shop for doing all your product research, and also when you've launched your product, for managing that product from inventory to profits and everything else. So this really is the only tool that you need to get started with research and inventory management, product management. And this is something you're going to be using every single day in your Amazon FBA private label business. The next tool at our disposal is Google Trends, and this is really easy. It's a great way to see if there's demand for a product or a keyword phrase that you're looking to launch outside of Amazon, so you can see the general trending data that sits behind that product. So I'm just going to put, for argument's sake, sunset lamp in here. It's a product which is a little bit saturated on Amazon, but it's my go-to when it comes to any demonstrations. So all I've done is head over to trends.google.com, make sure I've got the United States selected, and I'm going to hit sunset lamp and hit explore. So what Google Trends will do is it will show me the interest in sunset lamp over time. So this is looking at just the past day, but I want to select something like the past 12 months. And then from this chart, I can see the interest in sunset lamps. As expected, the interest peaks around the Q4 period. So around Christmas time, there's a lot of interest. But from what I'm seeing, there is still some interest throughout the rest of the year. So although this chart isn't that great, it does show me that there is somewhat of an interest for this product around the full year. So definitely peaks in Q4, but there definitely is some interest. And then the good thing about Google Trends is that as you go down, you can actually see the interest by sub-region. So in the States, it was actually Nebraska that had the most interest, followed by New Hampshire, Connecticut, Delaware, and Massachusetts. So very skewed towards the kind of East Coast. Now, looking at related topics. So if you're looking at other products which potentially could be launched alongside a sunset lamp, if you're looking at it, you can actually see these throughout related topics and related queries. So I can see people searching for a sunset lamp also search for under desk treadmill, and that's actually got the breakout badge there. So that basically means that that demand is actually broken out of its general trend. It's actually really in demand right now. So under desk treadmill is another keyword which we could potentially search and maybe look to sell on Amazon, because I've never heard of an under desk treadmill, but that could be a query which is actually pretty good. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and search under desk treadmill. And past 12 months, yeah, the demand for under desk treadmill is actually greater than sunset lamp. So this actually looks pretty good. Again, peaked during Q4 period last year, but I can see the interest by the sub-regions, I can see related topics, and I can see related queries as well. So it definitely looks like under desk treadmill is in demand, and that could be a potential product. So I'm going to add that to my shortlist, and potentially it could be something for us. So that's Google Trends, guys. Super easy, super simple, but it can help you with your product research journey and help you find other trends, other products, and also to just decide whether or not your product is actually in demand evergreen, and you can actually see that from the charts. So this is ChatGPT, and you guys would have heard of this, but this is the AI tool which you can use to generate pieces of text and actually do a bunch of work for you. So one of the main things I like to use ChatGPT for is to build the foundation for my Amazon listings. Here's the chat box, and I've asked it to write me an optimized product listing for my Ziploc bag organizer that I sell on Amazon. I'm going to hit the green button, and it's going to go ahead and action that prompt. As you can see here, it's actually building out my listing for a Ziploc bag organizer. So it's creating me a description, it's doing my bullet points for me in the key features. It's basically giving me that kind of copywriting that I need to basically convert a customer over from just being a general person who's browsing the listing to someone who actually buys it, giving out all the benefits to this product, and it's giving me multiple different bullet points for which I can then decide which ones I want to pick. So of all this information, it's much better to use ChatGPT to create kind of that bulk of information in the beginning as a foundation, and then you can build on it once you want to finesse it with your brand name and very specific USPs, unique selling points about your product. So ChatGPT is great to kind of build that first picture, and I love using this. I use it every single time I launch a new product, and it's a great way of sort of building that out and then finessing it later on down the line. Another AI tool we have at our disposal is Genie AI, and I'm using their Discover tool within here. And what it does is it looks at the Chinese market and looks at products that have gone to market. And if they've been somewhat successful, it will pull them up and you'll be able to see them in here. So just looking through, I can see there's a stainless steel barbecue cooking grill grate, and I've seen these selling on Amazon. You can see the monthly revenue they do here, and it will basically tell you these products, and then you can take the keywords, search them on Amazon using Cerebro and Helium 10. You can then start to divulge as to whether or not there'll be a good product opportunity. So Genie AI is super cool. This is just one tool within their arsenal. So this is the review section of the Genie AI tool. And what I've done is I've taken the ASIN for a Ziploc bag organizer, I've plugged it in, and what this has done is it's summarized the review. So overall insights, summary, generally what customers thought about it. They've given me the top negative keywords and phrases I've cropped up in the reviews, top positive keywords and phrases, and then the requests that customers have about the product. So make it available in more sizes, it can fit into standard kitchen drawers, redesign the product to accommodate all sizes of Ziploc bags. So these are insights in which I can take away during my product research and actually improve on the product that I decide to launch on the Amazon platform. There's also a section on underserved audiences with special requirements, eco-friendly, small apartment or RV owners with limited storage space, so do a smaller size version. So there's various different insights I can get from using this tool. It tells me variation recommendations, it tells me opportunities to bundle this product with other products, it tells me creative ideas to make my product stand out, custom boxes, create a voice assisted device which helps visually impaired individuals. So there's a lot of things you can do here. Some of this is going to be a little bit too far-fetched, a little bit too differentiated, but it's definitely going to be a great place in which you can actually start to find ideas about how you can differentiate and help your product stand out on Amazon. So I highly recommend the Genie AI tool.
All right, squad. So Rye just took you through a pretty extensive list of all the tools you could need. he even introduced our own tool, SniperInsights, which really we created because we've used a lot of tools. We've used all kinds of software, and there are some great alternatives to SniperInsights on the market, but the cost of a lot of these just didn't quite make sense. So we created SniperInsights through FBA University because we are sellers. We knew exactly what we wanted, so we just built it based on what we would want, not just adding tools just for the sake of adding tools. And we made the cost 50 to 70% cheaper than just about any other tool on the market. Obviously, this may change over time depending on when you watch the video, but let's go into how to use SniperInsights, and really the only tool you'll need for the first few years of running an Amazon private label business.
All right, team, we are going to look at the SniperInsight homepage and just give an overview of how the tool works. So this tool is very similar to a lot of other product research tools in nature. It has product research, it has a Chrome extension, there is a product research manual search where you can search for products on SniperInsights outside of the Amazon catalog. You can also use the Chrome extension right here to look at products that way. There's also a product validator. That's where we actually validate products you find and essentially give our independent analysis, let you know if it's something that is green lit, red lit, with a whole bevy of reasons why. Estimator is as simple as estimating the number of units sold for every single ASIN, every single listing on the Amazon catalog. Sales optimization over here, we have keywords you can type in and you will get a whole list of relevant keywords for that product. So if I search monocular here, we see that there are 56,000 searches per month for that score. And then it gives a smart score 90. That's really good for this particular market. And it gives an entire list of relevant keywords that go along with your keyword monocular. Right here, you can export that to Excel, to CVS or CSV, and you can look at the data that way, manipulate it, do whatever you would like to do. Back to sales optimization, there's a reverse ASIN. So if we go back to our monocular search, and then we want to take one of our potential competitors and see the keywords they're ranking for, all we got to do is copy that, go back to the reverse ASIN, paste it in, and let SniperInsight reverse ASIN simply do its things. And here it gives you the option to compare with 3 different competitors. You can do that, or you can simply click Analyze, wait a minute or two, really it's 5 to 10 seconds, and then boom, all along the left side you have keywords, you have cost per click, CPR, which is the 8-day sales you need to get to page 1, search volume, competing products, and then where this particular ASIN ranks for each keyword. So this ASIN we're looking at ranks second for this keyword. So that would be this ASIN ranking second for the word board. That's probably their brand name. But if you go a little further or just click on the columns, you can sort by that. So for the main keyword monocular, they are ranked 90th, so probably on page 3. Going back to the sales optimization, there's actually a page 1 tool for SniperInsight. This helps you launch and get immediate sales on particular keywords, and really, really it's a valuable tool that very little other Amazon product research tools, Amazon all-in-one softwares have. This service would be an extra cost because we are finding buyers to basically execute Search+Find+Buys and drive up your rankings, but it's just it's an independent way to really launch with accuracy, speed, and kind of do it right. You pay to invest once you get the rankings on those huge search volume keywords, kind of like monocular that has 60,000 searches. Once you start driving sales through our page 1 tool, the rest gets a lot easier. So going back through Sales Optimizer, there's Sniper Tracker. That basically is if you were to take one of these ASINs and let's say we wanted to see all the relevant keywords, we would simply copy the ASIN here, go back to add new product tool, we would type the ASIN, and then we would have to get a bunch of keywords. Luckily, I've done the dirty work in terms of exporting some keywords. I have a bunch of keywords here. I'm going to copy into the keyword tracking, add new product, and then within a couple minutes, what you'll be able to do is click on this ASIN and see the current rank for every single keyword. As you can see, we just put this in, so you're not seeing that much data. But if you were to come back, or if you were to look at some of these other products, what you can see is the individual ranking for every single keyword. It helps you track your ranking, so you can see really where you rank word to word. Going back to sales optimization, there's an alerts function. This function basically notifies you if anything goes wrong with your listing. You get an email or a text whenever you lose the buy box, whenever someone else comes on your listing, any negative review, any new seller on your listing if your listing is suppressed, or when an active ad campaign has stopped. So it's really just a second set of eyes looking at your listing. So if anything goes wrong, you know, and you don't have to, log back into Seller Central 2 or 3 days later only to find out my listing has been suppressed for all that time. Now, going to listing optimization, we have an AI Listify tool. This is really cool. It basically helps write your listing for you. So if you were to use the Listify tool here, what you can do is enter the same keyword, monocular, and run a simple search here. And what it will do is basically start writing an Amazon listing for you. So right here, it's saying we have detected heavy traffic for the Listify tool at this time. I haven't actually seen this before. It means a lot of people are using it right now, but this will get you started. And so it's like a lot of other AI writing tools where you're not just going to be able to write the whole listing with it, but what it'll do is give you an overall structure, a framework, and a skeleton of your listing. So instead of starting with a blank slate, you start with a well-structured listing, and then you come put the human touches around it, make sure every keyword's used the right amount, and it really just saves a bunch of time. So if we go back to Listing Optimizer, these two tools are basically done for you services. So we actually offer listing optimizing pricing, and what we do is basically write your listing for you. We come up with all the keywords, we update your bullet points, and really just update your listing front end, back end, and give you everything you possibly need to know. Same thing with Photo Enhancer. Basically, we will look at your existing photos, explain if there is a need based on our audit for better photos, if your conversion rate is lower than the average market in the particular niche you're selling in. And we really have seen a lot of results with this. So going all the way down, profits, you have your profit dashboard, master list, you have reports, you can run some cool financial reports. Expense manager, here's where you enter those non-Amazon expenses. So to use this function, you really want to be connected with your Amazon seller account. If you're going to log in and you're already selling, you definitely want to connect your seller account API and your advertising API. It's two different APIs. So that takes me to the Sniper PPC. We have a great PPC dashboard and PPC function, really better than any other all-in-one tool. So you can automate your PPC campaigns. You can get a lot of reports that you can't actually see on advertising console through Seller Central. You can day part and do things where you turn off your campaigns at lower traffic times throughout the day, in the morning and the afternoon, before people are actually buying. And you can get insight into important campaigns with ease. Then you get more reports here. You get change logs, seeing everything that the automation has done, and the PPC autopilot, where you basically pass it off to us and we will actually manage your price. So not only does this all-in-one tool have a lot of the tools to run your own business on your own, if you aren't someone who wants to do everything yourself, you can a la carte certain services like writing your listing, enhancing your photos, managing your PPC, and basically give it to the experts and let us do it. So we'll dive into a lot of different tools, but this is just the overview and really the nuts and bolts of how to use both a desktop tool and then the Chrome extension, which has a bunch of data on every single Amazon search. So we'll see you for a lot more, but that is a general overview of the SniperInsight tool.
All right, guys, welcome to the Amazon product research module of the training. So product research obviously is a massive part of building an Amazon product. If you pick the right product, you can do a lot of things not necessarily wrong, but you don't have to absolutely crush everything else and you can still have wild success. Now, if you pick the wrong products, you can do everything else right and you're still really gonna be capped on the level of success you have just because inherently you don't have the demand. You might not be in a market or opportunity where you can get to page one where you can show up organically. So we're gonna talk about product research. We're gonna go into it in a lot of different ways over the next few videos and really just show you how we do it, what we recommend, where typical opportunities are. But first, we're gonna talk about a couple do's and don'ts of product research just to lay the groundwork, lay the foundation for what we're about to go into. So we're gonna go into the do's first. So do's, what we wanna do first is validate demand. And what that means is understand what keywords are driving Amazon listings revenue. So just through using SniperInsights, we're able to see every listing's monthly revenue, right? But we wanna actually validate what keywords these listings are using. We do that through a reverse ASIN tool, but what we're doing is validating that there are enough monthly searches on Amazon so that, okay, we're gonna launch this, we're hoping to make as much money as possible, right? We need people searching for our product. We need hungry customers on Amazon. So validating demand is first. Second, we really wanna launch products that are small and light. And the reason for this is we get hit with shipping twice. So launching products that are small and light allows us to save shipping fees both from overseas to an Amazon fulfillment center and from an Amazon fulfillment center all the way to the customer. We want to make sure our products are able to fit in the large standard category. A typical way to do this is making sure the product packaging, not the product, has one side at 8 inches or below. 3, we want to look for products that are in low to medium competition markets. And what this means is we have a couple different metrics we use to look at the competition of keywords. One is CPR, another one's competing products. We'll get into all that in a second, but we want to ensure we can actually get to page one on Amazon organically because 80 to 90% of sales happen on page one. If we can't get on page one, we essentially have to pay through marketing for every single customer sale. So we want to validate just through our keyword analysis, there's an opportunity to get to page one. 4, we want products where we can differentiate, bring something unique, or at least bring something that not everyone else is selling on the market. And a good way to validate that is look and ensure products are selling well with reviews that aren't exceptional. So a non-exceptional rating is typically at 4.2 or below. And if we see a few different listings, a few different products making tons of revenue with mediocre and not exceptional ratings, we know, okay, we can look at the port reviews, look for patterns, and actually differentiate based on the patterns. 5 is we want to validate that new sellers are making enough money without a ton of reviews. And what that typically means is looking for listings that are making at least 10,000. Anything under 10,000 is just not significant enough for us to actually launch a business into. We want to make sure there's listings with 250 reviews or less making this revenue. And that means, okay, we're going to be a listing without any reviews to start. We want to validate that newer sellers are able to launch and be successful very quickly. Those are the 5 do's. Let's go into a few don'ts. The first don't is we really want to avoid shipping anything that has glass. And the reason for that is economically, we're going to use C shipping on pretty much every order. And just the way logistics go, your product, your bulk products, hundreds if not thousands of units are going to be sitting on a boat for weeks and then going through not a light process to get to the Amazon fulfillment center and then get delivered to a customer. If we have stuff that's fragile, and glass is the most fragile material, we're at risk of the product breaking before it gets to the customer. It's going to get bad reviews, returns, and really just absolutely kill our profits. Number two, we really want to avoid large and heavy items. And this is just basically the opposite of the do, which was small and light. We want to avoid bulky and heavy items because we get hit with shipping costs twice. So if we're getting high shipping costs on both overseas to Amazon and Amazon to the customer, that's going to eat up margin. We really want enough margin for marketing to expose to as many customers as possible. Number three, we do not want to launch into markets where there is huge brands. And so what that means, if we're launching in a market where page one on Amazon has Nike or has Lego, or the worst of all has Amazon Basics or one of Amazon's brands, we know that we can't compete from a marketing department with these big brands. And so if at all possible, we want to compete against small private label sellers where everyone's basically an equal playing field. If we compete against big brands, we're just not going to be able to spend the amount they are spending upon. So those are the overall do's and don'ts of product research. We're going to go into the tactics. We're going to take you through step by step how to start, how to validate products, and even how to contact suppliers, negotiate, and start validating all the way down to a margin basis. So we'll see you a bunch more in the next few videos, but just know this is a key foundational skill. And this is something, the longer you're in an Amazon business, e-com business, the better ability you have to continue finding highly profitable, low to medium competition products, the bigger moat you create for your business, higher chances of success you have.
All right. Right before we get into it, product research is a process of elimination, right? We do not have an issue of not having enough products. What we have an issue of is not getting down to one. So there's 10 million plus products on the Amazon catalog. It's all floating around, right? How do we slow things down and get to one? So we're going to start helping you eliminate, help building a process, help filtering down so that you are looking at less, so that you are only looking at decent options, and then you are narrowing down, getting more and more granular to just one. So first, we're just going to talk about categories. So if we look at the categories here on the left, this is called the Amazon Browse node. It's just like all the categories that the algorithm deems products, right? You guys understand that. These are the categories on my right that over time private label sellers have the best luck in. And the reason for that is there's the most demand, it's the right price, there's new markets, there's ability to develop and build your own brand. It's not digital products and things like that. So real quick video, but these 8 categories: baby, electronics, home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, office products, pet supplies, sports, tools, toys, and games. I think that's 9 actually, but stick to those and you're going to have a much better time. So before we get into it, there's a lot more, but just that is the first thing that's going to save you hopefully a lot of time.
All right, let's take a look at how to use the SniperInsight product research tool. So we've discussed how to start on the Amazon catalog, how to use lists to initially find your products. But using SniperInsight, you can find a lot of products quickly, and it's just a different input. So even looking in the same category for, let's say, new releases in a certain category, you're not going to see the same products on the catalog versus on the tool. Gives you variety. It also helps basically do batch product research. So let's take a look. This is super easy to use. What you can do is choose a category, and then you can choose filters, and a number of different things. So down here is the advanced filters. Up here is the more basic filters. Starting out, you just typically want to use the normal filters. Getting into profit versus revenue is very difficult because no matter what product research tool, nobody really has insight into profit and things like that. So sometimes you are asking the tool to do too much here. So let's take a look. And going all the way back, we are going to reiterate the categories that are best for private labeling, and there are 9. So number 1, baby. Number 2, electronics. 3, health and household. 4, office. 5, pet supplies. 6, toys and games. 7, beauty. 8, home and kitchen. 9, tools and home improvements. Yes, that means excluding sports and outdoors. I don't like that either. I'd love to launch a fitness brand, but so did everyone the last 10, 15 years. That's why it's just very difficult. It's also very seasonal depending on you would be selling. So those 9 categories, and let's just take an example of how I would basically do this. We're still going to look at the fundamentals. So say I wanted to do a baby product. There's really never any point in looking at products that are doing under 10,000. So that's a good minimum revenue to do. Minimum price, I like selling things $30 and more. You cannot make money on Amazon selling things under $20. So why don't we set this at 25? We'll split the middle. What we want to do here is say minimum 1 review, max 250. 250 is a good basis that we use a lot. If someone's making 10,000 from there with under 250 reviews, that's validation that that market is allowing new sellers. Essentially, it's not mature enough where no new sellers can break in. So that's a good sign. BSR, that's bestseller ranking. I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's very dependent on the category, so it's hard to generalize. Let's keep it at this and just see what we come up with. And we will search this right here. And as you can see, we have a lot of entries. What I'm going to do is do up to 100 here. As you can say, it says 1 to 2 minutes, but it really goes pretty quickly. And then at this point, we basically want to just scroll over these products, see if anything pops out. Before you're scrolling, you're really not thinking that much. You're just putting in the filters. And once we actually start to look at these, then we can take a deeper look and actually scroll over these. So let's just get to one that we are interested in, and we'll go essentially to the next steps. And so let's look at something I would actually look deeper into. Crib bedding, that's just too general. You always want to think very niche down. The best products on Amazon are products in categories that obviously are selling well, because we wouldn't even be looking at the product unless it had at least 10,000, was under 250 reviews. But we want to think, how the hell is this selling so well? That's a good indication that you niche down enough. What you do not want to be selling is things you come across at every Target, every grocery store, just like normal everyday products like bedding, right? It's just you never want to compete with big bedding home good brands. And the more common the market, the bigger the brands, the more mature it is. We are, as opposed to a lot of different things in life, we want the perfect niche, because if we get to pick exactly where we start, we want everything to be as advantageous as possible to minimize risk, maximize the ceiling. If we're going to choose a product like these bed sheets, we're not doing our due diligence in terms of making it as easy as possible. Could you succeed? Absolutely. But if I were a betting man, I would always bet on something that's less competitive, but still has enough search volume. So Ziploc back zip, no, not necessarily into that either. Stroller, that's just too big. You only want to do large standard size, not small oversize. Small oversize is charged FBA fees at a much higher rate. And shipping, remember, you always get hit twice because you're shipping it from overseas to Amazon, from Amazon to the customer. So to qualify for large standard, and almost nothing is small standard, so don't worry if you're large standard, that's fine. Once you're selling paper clips, you're going to be large standard. But small oversize is charged at such a high rate by Amazon, and just naturally how shipping's charged from overseas, you'd be paying way more per unit to get your item over. And at that point, you've eaten so much of your cost on just shipping before Amazon takes their 15% referral that you're really, again, you're just making it harder than it needs to be. And one tip to be in large standard, one of your package dimensions has to be under 8 inches. So weight wise, it's not as big of a deal what your weight is. In general, we want things under 5 pounds. If you're selling higher priced items, you can go above 5 pounds, but you just got to understand that. But a package size of something was 9 by 9 by 9, even though that's not a big package, because no side is under 8, it will not qualify for large standards. So you can have something that's 22 by 20 by 7, and that's perfect. So you just want to be able to be very smart about that, because a lot of times you can just manipulate the package in a good way, make it fit. And your products could be huge, right? It doesn't matter what the product is. It matters from an Amazon warehouse space. And so what we can do, let's just say we are interested in this baby diaper backpack. And so what this is, if we click on it, this has a, let's see. Yeah, it basically has a changing station where you can carry and change your baby right away. So what we're going to do is take a look at the profitability calculator, kind of understand what we would be looking to source this for and its large standard size. Again, looking at this, no matter where you're looking, the SniperInsight tool does not know the manufacturing cost. This is a complete estimate. There's no real basis, is just an estimate. Everything else in this is very accurate. Price, dimensions, weight, this is pulled from the Amazon catalog. SniperInsights is plugged into the API. Fulfillment cost, that's also based on Amazon. No brand, trust me, nobody knows unless I tell them how much I'm paying for my product's brand. So don't get fooled by this. It's just an estimate. So that gives you a good estimate. You can also see frequently bought together. That's really cool. And you can just hop in here and basically see other products. They're saying a logo Chrome. Oh, this image isn't actually popping up, but a lot of times you can see other products that are sold with it. What you can also do is pin the product. And so that's a really, really cool indication. What you can also do is look at the monthly sales for this product. What you can see here is they're doing 26,000 in revenue, 216 reviews. Okay. And then if you wanted to immediately start contacting manufacturers, you have a one click. Well, I guess you don't right now, but you will be able to use that. Oh, it's saying we don't have any suppliers. Okay, so sometimes that does happen, but in general, what you could do is just search this keyword, and most products you can one click, and what it'll do is search these keywords on Alibaba, put you in front of a lot of potential suppliers. We are going to go into deeper level of what to do when you really hone in on a product, but this is just the basis of how to start. 10K minimum, 250 max. The rest you can get a little creative with. You can say, okay, I only want to see products that are, let's say, 4.0 or below. I want to see something I can differentiate and make better. And I want something in between $35 and $50. Let's see how many. Ideally, you're very, very stringent with the filters, so you don't get that many results. Remember, product research is an elimination game. We don't want a ton of results. At the start, it's cool to see a bunch of products, but the idea is to get to one. And so the more intense you are, let's say 25,000 to 75,000, and let's say 0 to 2 pounds. Whoops. And that's another thing you want to look for, small and light products. There we go. So now there's just 4. And now we're at a point where, okay, baby sleep sack, mama koala, washable cloth diapers, a toddler nap mat, and a dreamer sound light. So right there, it is like the perfect amount of stringentness or rigidness to the filters. So we will dive into kind of what to do once you find a product, wherever it is, next. But this is how, in general, you get to use the SniperInsight product research tool. Oh, one thing before we hop, that's products itself. Very similar process, but if you're looking more for keywords, to be honest, you should really start with products and use the product to reverse ASIN, aka run a keyword search. If this sounds like Chinese, just chill and watch the next video and you'll understand what we're talking about. But in general, it works better to set your filters, find products that you're interested in, and then see what keywords the product is ranking for and find it that way. But if you want to switch it up, or if you're just a keyword kind of cat, you can do the same thing here. So now we'll get keywords doing, oh, no, that's sales. Let's say max reviews. Let's go all the way down to 150. Let's see here. Minimum price, 40 to 50. Let's go tools and home improvement. And now we get just keywords. And then through these keywords, let's say neon lights, customize, I don't even know what this is. You can click on these and it'll automatically take you to the search, and it'll just give you information about what's going on this search on Amazon. It'll give you related keywords. It'll give you competing products, and it's basically just another basis to stimulate your product research. But I like products best, but both are there, right? If you're getting sick of one, or you feel like you hit a dead end, flip it, try something else, and then come back. All right, we are going to see you on what to do when you find a good product, but that is the SniperInsight product research tool. Get to know it.
All right, team. So we have gone through how to use the SniperInsights product research tool. Let's go through how to start your search on the Amazon catalog and how to use the Amazon lists using the SniperInsights Chrome extension. So in my opinion, this is a much better way. One, because you're already on the Amazon catalog. Two, a lot of times when you're using any tool, the tool only refreshes every so often, but the Amazon buying platform refreshes a lot more than that. So you're seeing a lot more different products, different views. And in my experience, I've just found more. So what we're going to do is start on Amazon.com. Again, we have 10 million plus, got to get to 1. So let's rock and roll. One thing you can do is you can go up to all, and then the lists we're going to want to use are the bestsellers, new releases, and movers and shakers. New releases is the best one out of this. We're going to start here. What it is all the top selling products in the last 90 days or so that have launched. And so what are we looking for as a new seller? New markets that have stable or increasing demand and are not super mature, like not toothpaste, right? And so it's a really good indication. Best sellers is just best sellers. Movers and shakers is also good. What this is if you go to bestseller rank, it's kind of a Amazon term based on how you rank in each product category. Just like the college football rankings, lowest is the best, just FYI. But the products that have moved up the most, so have sold well and their BSRs increased, are in the movers and shakers. But a lot of times there's just a lot more noise. So what we're going to do is start on new releases here, and then you get to a page like this. You have the browse node here. So same thing, if we're talking about categories, same categories apply. And so let's, for instance, use baby for this example. So I would click on baby, and right here we're clicked on baby. Then no matter what root category you choose here, you want to subcategorize again at least once before running the Chrome extension, because when you just land on baby, there's a lot of generic products just like this, just like diapers. So we want to make it easy for ourselves. We want to make it easy for the tool. We want to subcategorize at least once. And then when you do, so that I've clicked activity and entertainment here, and just to show you on this root page, you can go here, run the Chrome extension, and it works. But what I'm going to do is go to activity and entertainment. Here we are. And I know I'm going fast, but luckily you can pause. And so once you select this, a bunch of additional subcategories show themselves. So it looks like you just have about 12, but in reality you have more. And then when you click that, more subcategories exist. So once we're here, we're going to run the Chrome extension, and we're going to click on SniperInsights. And what we want to do up until this point, we're really not thinking at all, right? I guess you got to think what category you want to go to, but we're not looking at data. We're just letting the system bring products to us. Then we want to click on filter results. Then what we are going to do is do the same filters: is minimum revenue 10,000 and maximum review count 250. You can also set a price minimum, like, just for instance, $15 is the bare minimum for anyone to sell on Amazon. You really can't make money on FBA under $15. Or what I recommend is 25 or more. I'll put 25 for here. Just know you can play with filters like that. Then boom, we went from 10 million all the way over here down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 products. Now, this is the first time we turn on a human brain and we start to scan over the product and look if anything jumps out. So here we have a play gym. This is probably pretty big. If you think, oh, that might be a little big. Oh, it's actually not. Under 5 pounds in general is solid. Something like this, 9.59 is bad, and the size tier is small oversized. One thing to keep in mind, we always want to source large standard size. And so there's not exact criteria for what like a product has to be, but in general, if one side of the packaging is under 8 inches and it's under, I believe, 15 pounds, you can qualify for large standard. And in general, we want small, light items because we got hit with shipping twice, once from overseas to Amazon, once from Amazon to the customer. So say we were interested in a product, we would basically just check this, and then we would copy to SniperInsight and run a reverse ASIN. Let's see here if anything jumps out. Either play gym, play mat, baby swing with 12 preset lullabies. So this is pretty cool, honestly. It's $109, so you wouldn't want to source if you're on a tight budget, because the higher the selling price, the higher the sourcing price. But this is something I would look into. And so if you were looking into it, you would just check there, go to SniperInsights with one click, and then you want to run the reverse ASIN tool. So you would copy that, paste it into the reverse ASIN, and then you are diving in, looking for the primary 10 to 15 keywords. And so that is how you use the Amazon lists. Again, you can use new releases. I would start there. Every category is different. So even if we went back out, let's close this out, and then went one further within the subcategory into activity and entertainment, then there's additional categories here. So you have, think of it as spinning the dial, right? You're at the casino, you're spinning the dial, you're hoping for green or black. I really don't know that casino game well enough to reference it. But anyway, you basically don't have to do much. You're in a spot where there are new products coming right at you. What you have to do is just use the SniperInsight Chrome extension, use filters, and then boom, if something catches your eye, then you want to go to SniperInsights and immediately start to look for, okay, I like the product. I see that the revenue itself is really good because we can see revenue. Where were we? There we go. We can see revenue for all the products there. And then what we would be trying to do is look for the top 10 to 15 primary keywords, making sure those have enough demand. That is in the next video. So until then, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and you got the next video for steps 2 through 5. But that is step 1. In addition to the using the actual SniperInsights tool, doesn't matter how you find products. The key is developing a good system to find products on repeat. Then when you do, immediately taking them off of Amazon to SniperInsights, getting keywords, you'll see in the next video. All right, team. This is a very special video. In my humble opinion, this is the most important skill because no matter where you find the product, whether it be from your new release list, your movers and shakers list, using the SniperInsight product research tool, using another product research tool, or finding it from Etsy, TikTok, your neighbor down the road, no matter where you find the product, this is the first step. What we are solving for is the market demand, the most important and the hardest skill to actually gain in your product research skill set is understanding and quantitatively identifying opportunity markets. So what we're going to do, we are looking at a Furbo dog camera right here. It's $79, 275 ratings. Yes, it's over 250, but in general, still a very new product. It's doing really well as well. So if this had like 10,000 ratings, obviously we would not be looking at it, but very strong additional product. Let's see what the numbers say. So we're going to run the Chrome extension here, and we see this camera has a $79 price. It is selling $286,000 a month with only 275 reviews and a 4.3 star rating. So what we are going to do is copy the ASIN, hit the SniperInsight product research tool. Once we do that, we are going to go to the reverse ASIN tool right here. And once we do that, we are going to paste the ASIN in. And just keep in mind, you can put a couple competitors. You can go back, search. Let's say you wanted to search dog camera. You could find competitors that way and enter them and reverse ASIN to get the keywords from multiple different listings, but you don't need to do that. And for now, let's just hit analyze. The tool says 1 to 2 minutes. As you can see, it moves a lot quicker than that. And so just know at this point, you are going to see every single keyword this product right here is indexed for. And what that means, the more the better when you're selling. But the Amazon algorithm has determined these keywords are relevant for this product. So if you were to search these keywords, you could potentially find this product with any of these keywords. And so what we are going to see is, are there enough keywords to find 10 to 15 primary keywords with 50,000 or more search volume, low CPR, competitiveness, with a clear indication that they are ranking on page 1, they meaning this product we are reverse engineering, and that the products are relevant. Don't worry about trying to figure out all of that out now. I will go through that in a matter of minutes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hit export. I come from a background of being in Excel all day. Thank God for Amazon, so I don't have to do that. But that's how I like to do it. I also just like to get it off of the browser. Once you find a product doing product research, you're all over the place, right? So as soon as you can, if you are comfortable with Excel, even if you are not, you should follow this video enough where you can follow these steps. So we are going to hit reverse ASIN, and then we are going to have this catalog pop up. And so what we are seeing right here is all of the keywords that this particular product is ranking for. Again, I'm going to filter this. I always filter the top column, make it bold, make it all pretty. And so what we're going to do, we're going to filter this to make it easy for ourselves. The first filter is on the search volume column. So I'm going to highlight that green. You don't have to get to follow every single thing, but this is just how I identify it, how I, from an aesthetic perspective, make it easy for myself to read. And so we are going to set the minimum here at 1,000. The reason for that, any keyword on Amazon that's not getting 1,000 searches a month, it's not enough. There's not enough of a macro trend. There's not enough for us to base anything on. And there's just not enough, even if we are ranking for something that's lower than 1,000, there's not enough traffic to sell the way we want with products like that. So first filter is search volume 1,000. The second filter is CPR. And so what CPR means is how many sales over 8 days. 8 days was an arbitrary number that a lot of tools use. Give you an idea of how many sales over 8 days you need to rank on page 1. So for this keyword, which is kind of a garbage keyword, like I don't know anyone who's just searched apps, but anyway, 29 over 8 means you would have to sell 3.6 units a day, almost 4 a day, to rank on page 1. Why that's important is because 90% of sales on Amazon happen on page 1. So if you are on page 1, you are getting 90% of the organic sales. The more you sell, the higher you rank. The higher you rank, the more you sell. That is how you take advantage of the Amazon flywheel and really build momentum and scale. Because at the start, we are going to market you all over. So we're going to pay to show up in all these places. Over time, you want more and more of your sales trending to organic. Again, don't worry about all that right now, but we will get into that soon. So CPR, this is the second column we are going to filter. We are going to set this at max 75. Anything more than 75 is really close to 10 sales a day. That's just very hard to know you'll be able to do. So what we are doing is minimizing the risk, making sure there's high demand here, low competition, 75 here. So the third column we're going to do is the organic rank. So what this column is the ASIN. This number here relates to this. Basically, this is just Amazon. Every product has an ASIN on Amazon. It's a 10-digit number. That's about it. Just know that is what we're looking at. And if you did multiple listings, you'd have an average of these. So it would look a little different if you did add competitors. But we want to see what keywords this product is ranking on page 1 for. What we're doing is validating, okay, this is a new product making significant sales, over 10,000 in sales with low reviews. That would be our competitor in the market. It wouldn't be someone with 10,000 reviews. So we want to see what keywords they are ranking on. Therefore, we get into this this market, launch a product that's hopefully differentiated, but it is at least as good or better than this. Boom, we know we can target the same keywords, take a lot of their share. It's not one versus one. It's not player versus player. We just need to show up and have validation. We can get to page 1. So page 1 has give or take 32 listings on it. And so what we're going to do is set this at less than 33. We want to see the top 32 and does not equal 0. So boom, we went from a list of hundreds of keywords all the way down to, let's see here, it is 25 keywords. Okay, beautiful. Now we have the automatic filtering done. We're already narrowing down from a list of hundreds to just 25. But now we want to look for the top 10 to 15 primary keywords that we will use in our listing. SEO, we will use in our launch strategy, and we will use in our initial marketing strategy. So primary keywords, you're going to hear that a lot. That is what sets the blueprint for your entire product lifecycle, product strategy. So what we are looking for, and the final test that you can't filter on, is how relevant are these keywords to this product? And at this point, you have to know a little bit about the product, right? So it's a dog camera with subscription, smart camera designed for dogs. It probably could be any pet, 360 view, barking detection, blah, 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 blah. It also has, let's see, video history. Also, it has a toss treats to your pet element. Okay, not 100% sure what that means. You don't have to know too much yet, but these two keywords would be good. These are very relevant for here. Furbo is the brand name. We can't target brand names in our primary listing. We can in marketing, but can't be a primary keyword. Dog camera with phone app, pet camera with phone app, really good. Cat camera, I don't know that it could be, but it's really marketed at dogs. Waggle pet monitoring system, no. Dog treat dispenser, well, it is a treat dispenser, so we'll keep that. But the issue here is the majority of people looking or searching this would just be looking for a dog treat dispenser. So if you hit that $79 price tag, a lot of people are saying, no, I'm looking for just a treat dispenser. Most are $15, $20 or whatever. We're going to highlight, but just know these are a lot better than this. And this would be the ultimate, like the most relevant keyword. And relevance would be how many out of 100 people searching this would be looking for your product? Here we can say just about 100, right? Dog camera with a treat dispenser. That's super specific. And it's shocking. There's almost 2,500 searches a month. That's a good amount of keywords searching for that. So that's one. Puppy cam, no doubt. Dog cam. Let's go. Dog camera with audio. I think this says audio. Beautiful. So that is a relevant keyword with camera and audio. Boom. Pet camera. Boom. So now let's see how many I have. Did I miss any? Furbo, no. And so minimum 10, maximum 15. This is 11. The reason why it's minimum 10 means you want a diversification. It's kind of like investing. You don't want, if it's just 2 keywords, then you're really putting all your eggs in one basket. If it's more than 15, we strategically build your listing, your backend, your marketing based on 15. Any more than that, you're really keyword stuffing. It looks pretty sloppy. And so 10 to 15. All right. So now what we are looking for are 3 things. We are looking for search volume, minimum 50,000 plus on search volume. CPR would be max or average below 40. And those are the first tests. So let's see here. I'm going to sum this. And because Excel is a little strange, I have to go like this. Because if I didn't and I just highlighted the whole row, it would sum everything in between. That's a little technical. Anyway, 99,000. One other way you can get there a lot quicker is just highlight and you'll see 99,000. So search volume, the demand is there. How is the competition? What I'll do here is paste that formula, switch this to average, and this is 34. So beautiful. This is lucky. We have a demand that is well over 50,000, double that, and it's low competition. This is a good market. We know that this product inherently is converting for all these keywords. So they're good keywords because they're on page 1. We have used our brain to determine that these keywords are super relevant. So at this point, we would have step 1 of this product vetting, which is the most difficult, takes the longest, market demand, checked. And that is how, no matter what, how you determine if this product is something we want to look deeper into. Once you have these keywords, shoot them over to us. As always, we'll take a second look. But this product is how you do step 1. In the next video, we will get to step 2. But it is important to know the quantitative data. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so let's say now that you've found the product, you've done the due diligence. In the previous video, we talked about how to validate a good product, how to look through the keywords and make sure everything's okay. Let's say you've done all that and now you want to calculate the margins on your product. You want to see if this product makes at least 35% in profit margins before PPC, so that we know that if we do decide to sell this product, we can actually make some money on it. This is super important. And to do this, you're going to come to a product which is like your product. So try and find your biggest direct competitor, and we're basically going to use their listing to calculate the margins on our product. So to do that, we're going to be using the SniperInsights product research tool, which is FBA University's in-house product research tool. So let's go ahead and fire that up, and we're going to hit the profitability calculator here. So this is going to preload a lot of information that's already from the listing that we're looking at. So we've already got the price in here, we've got the dimensions plus the weight. Things that we need to do is work out the manufacturing cost for this product. So to do that, we want to head over to Alibaba, and we're going to look at the results for Ziploc bag organizer. So just going through here, I can see a bunch of different Ziploc bag organizers. This one is a little bit different because it includes the dispensers for the plastic and foil, plus the separate cabinet as well. So I can see an exact, basically the same thing here, an exact copy. So with this, I'm going to take, there's 2 different ranges. There's a lower end of the range, which is $11, and a higher end of the range, which is $13.50. I'm going to take the higher end of the range. Basically, the reason why there's 2 different ranges is the lower end is the best price they offer you if you order a lot of units. And the higher end of the range is the minimum order, which in this case is 300 pieces. And that will probably get you the higher end of the range, which is $13.50. I always like to veer towards the higher end of the range to get a conservative profit margin. I always find that works out better. It's better to overestimate it than to underestimate it. So let's go throw in 1350 here for my unit cost. Perfect. And then the other bit you need to change is the freight cost. Now, typically I calculate freight per kilogram, and I'll use $1.50 per kilogram because that's around the going rates at the moment. So once I put that in, it will calculate for me the FBA fee. This is peak period selected at the moment because we're in Q4 when this video is recorded. That is the peak period, October to December. The rates are different every other month of the year. So Q4, the rates do go up. You can see the storage fee for non-Q4 is 0.61 cents, whereas the $0.61, sorry, whereas the storage fee for Q4 is $1.77. So it does go up more than double, almost triple. This is a referral fee. This is the FBA fee, and then no duties and tariffs because we're doing DDP shipping. Other costs, I'm not going to put any in there. So we can see that between January and September, our net profit on this product is $12.39 per unit. That gives us a margin of 24.78% with an ROI of 60%. And for Q4, the net profit is $11.23 with a margin of 22.46 and an ROI of 52%. So we can see if we're selling this product, this Ziploc bag organizer at $49.99, and we're sourcing it for $13.50 and paying $1.50 a kilogram on the freight, we can see that at the moment it's actually not profitable. So in order for this product to be profitable and for us to achieve margins of at least 35%, we'd really have to be sourcing this product for around $9 or even $8.50 a unit. So unless we can get this particular product for $8.50 a unit, it's not going to be profitable unless we can change the price of the product. You always want to tend to come in at either a competitor's price or just below their price point. So just bear that in mind. We always want to be seeing at least a 35% profit margin before we can pass a product and move on to the next stage, which is going to be contacting suppliers and finding out if they can differentiate, etc. So this is super important. If you can't get a 35% profit margin, the product isn't going to work out. And you never want to just launch a product and hope that you can increase the ceiling, increase the price. That's not always possible. So rather than waste thousands of dollars by doing that, always make sure you have a 35% profit margin at least before you account for PPC costs and launch a product. This is super important, guys. In this video, we're going to be talking all about product differentiation and giving your product a USP or a unique selling point, because it is super, super key when it comes to selling private label products on the Amazon platform, that you give your product a unique selling point and you differentiate it from the competition. If you don't do that, you're not going to make sales because people are going to see that your product is exactly the same as everyone else, except that everyone else has a lot higher reviews than you. And that's then going to mean that they're going to buy the other people's products and not your product because you're going to be coming in with less reviews. And there's a higher chance that you won't actually even be able to compete on price or offer anything different into the market. So they don't see your offering as being valuable enough to convert them into a sale. So by differentiating your product, you make sure that you stand out, and it's going to be way easier for you to get sales, not only in the beginning, but for the entire lifespan of your product. So to show you an example of a well-differentiated product, what I've done is I've come onto Amazon and I've typed in one of my favorite products to use as an example. A little bit saturated now, guys, in terms of launching, but great example is the Ziploc bag organizer. So this is page one for the Ziploc bag organizer. And one thing I want to show you guys immediately is the fact that these products look the same. They all look very, very similar. There isn't much differentiation. If we're looking at the first row, which is sponsored listings, the second row, all wooden, all very much look the same. However, if you look into the intricacies of things, there are some developments. You can see that this one just here is a regular Ziploc bag organizer, as is this one here. But some of these listings on here have actually combined a Ziploc bag organizer with a dispenser. So a plastic, a wax, and a foil dispenser. Plus looks like an additional storage compartment here as well. So you can see that some people have combined two separate products, because the Ziploc bag organizer and the Ziploc dispenser were two different products. The dispenser wooden organizer, two different products, but they've combined them into one product here. So offering more value to the customers and differentiating themselves from the competition. This one over here comes with additional bits of organizations. Looks like you've got some baggies there, a sort of organizer there as well. So it makes it stand out from the competition there just a little bit. As we go down as well, you can see that some of these listings have custom boxes, which is going to make your product a little bit more appealing, gives it that more premium edge. Here's one I really like, this Edgeline product here. Instead of going for the generic kind of regular bamboo that everyone else has, they've really gone for a white bamboo product, and it immediately stands out on page 1. They're on page 1 organically, 4 stars or above. And you can see here that immediately when you're scrolling, they're offering something that makes you stop in your tracks and really stands out amongst everyone else, giving that premium feel. So when you're differentiating your product, think about different ways in which you can make your product stand out from the rest. Don't just differentiate for the sake of it. You've got to make sure that when you're differentiating, you're adding value that the customers do care about. I've made mistakes in the past where I've tried to differentiate a product. It didn't really work out because no one really cared about what I was doing or what I was bringing into the market. You always have to make sure that whatever you're doing when it comes to differentiation, you have to be adding value into the market. So as we go down, I'll just show you a few more differentiation ideas, and then we'll go into the matrix which I've created to help you with your product differentiation. So Ziploc bag organizer with foil and plastic wrap organizer. This one comes with, looks like some labels, some sticky labels, some things that you can affix to the product. So if you didn't want to have the presets that a lot of these products come with, you can affix these labels and you can really create something quite custom. Also, it looks like you can assemble this in various different ways, which adds to the durability and versatility of the product. This guy here, he's doing it in black, again, standing out from the competition, making you stop as you scroll through, just kind of breaks the color with all the sort of regular bamboo ones. It really makes things different. A few other guys doing different things here, but you can see the ones which do make you stop and stand out on page 1 are the ones where people have changed the color, added new features, or just changed something about the product to make you want to stop in your tracks and actually click on their product, so entice you in. Because if you're just competing with just bamboo, everyone's got bamboo, you know, the one who's got the most reviews or the one that's the best competitively priced is going to be the one that gets all the sales. So you definitely want to make sure, especially as a newbie, you want to be doing something different in the market to make sure that people do click on your product. So that's the first layer of differentiation is, you know, making sure that you do something to stand out. Now, what does it actually mean? Because a lot of people talk about differentiation, but no one really breaks down what does differentiation look like and how can you successfully differentiate a product. So that's why I created a product matrix I'm going to show you in a second, where I go through tangible things that you can do to differentiate your product that have worked for me. So without further ado, let's get right into that. So I've created this Excel sheet, and basically this is the Amazon FBA University differentiation matrix. So anyone, when they first start thinking about differentiation, they generally get stumped. They don't know what a good differentiator is in the market. And that's largely because they are new to e-commerce and they don't really know what they're doing. So I created this matrix to make it a little bit easier. So the instructions are, you want to use this matrix to help you differentiate your private label product to ensure that you stand out on Amazon from day one and start converting clicks into sales. Now, the first point of call when it comes to differentiation is your product giftable and does it require storage inside its packaging? Generally, I love to add a custom box for a giftable product or one that's a little bit more premium. And creating a custom box, as I showed you on that Ziploc bag organizer, can help your product stand out within Amazon. A custom box could include key product features, show the product being used to drive home the kind of premium feel, and just show people using the product, which, you know, helps to them to vision themselves using it, and it creates kind of a lifestyle feel for the product. So I love white custom boxes, premium feel. Think about Apple, how they do their boxes, really, really cool, really, really premium. For example, if you're selling a kitchen item, you might want to show the item being used in the kitchen and the key features. Now, this is a key one that I only found out probably in the last year or so, which is when you're looking at products on Alibaba, a lot of the times they're going to be just like products which are already on the Amazon platform. Now, something that you can do to give you an edge on this is to ask your manufacturer if they have a catalog that they can send you. Oftentimes manufacturers have catalogs, especially, and these catalogs that they kind of release on a periodic basis every 6 months, every year, every quarter, every 3 months, etc. So ask your manufacturer for a catalog, because that catalog is going to contain things that aren't yet on Alibaba. Maybe they've got something in the catalog which isn't yet been listed on Alibaba, so you haven't even seen that variation yet. And it's often one of the easiest ways to differentiate is just to basically pick a brand new design for that product. And often those new designs come from having access to catalogs so you can get there early. I did this with a product that's actually on its way to Amazon right now, and it wasn't anywhere on Alibaba, but by having a decent relationship with a manufacturer, I was able to ask them for a catalog, and I saw that product design in the catalog. It's still not on Alibaba yet, and I've got it kind of 3 months ahead of the curve. So ask your manufacturer for a catalog, because that's going to be one of the easiest ways in which you can start to see and find new designs that haven't yet made it to market. Next, you want to be thinking about bundling the product. So this isn't going to work for every single product out there, but a lot of the times you have different components that make up a product. So if you're selling a kit, for example, like a get well soon kit or some sort of spa kit, there's different bits. So for a spa kit, there might be candles, there might be a notebook, there's several different things. So think about what everyone else in the market is selling, and think about, through reading the negative reviews and listening to what the market needs, think about what you could add to that. So what else are people buying? People that buy a get well soon kit or a spa kit, what else are they buying with that? Are they buying extra candles? Are they buying, different size notepads? Are they buying ribbons? Are they buying badges? Like, what else could you add into that kit to add even more value and improve the customer experience? Now, this is super, super hard, but here's an example I'm going to give you. So let's say you're selling a camping cooking utensil set. You could add heat-proof gloves, potentially pots and pans, or let's say everyone's selling a 10-piece cutlery set. You could come in with an 18-piece cutlery set, offer more value, charge more of a premium, and just basically blow your product up just from the pure fact that you have more pieces in your set and you're offering more perceived value to the customer. So really think outside the box and don't be afraid to differentiate with this. One of the main things I like to do when I differentiate my product, if I'm going to add a bundle, is to do a couple of variations. So instead of just going, let's say a cutlery set and everyone was doing a 10-piece set, instead of just going for an 18-piece set, I might do an 18-piece set, I might do a 24-piece set, and I might do a 14 or 16-piece set as well. So you're hitting various different areas of the market, and then from that you can test with a lower quantity and then see what works and then double down on it when you do your restock order. Always think about bundling, because bundling is going to be a great way in which you can stand out and differentiate from your competition. Another point is, have you read through your customer reviews from your competitors? What are people commenting on? What extras do they want? What are their concerns? So look through the reviews of competitors, look through the negative reviews, because they're going to be the telltale signs which you can incorporate into your product and make sure that you don't fall short of those negative reviews as well. And anything positive that people are taking from your competitors, you want to be making sure that at the bare minimum, you're hitting those positive aspects. And finally, can you add variations to help you gain market dominance? Once you've launched one product, it's a lot easier to add a variation to that product rather than launching a brand new product. Because don't forget, when you add a variation to a product, you keep all the reviews, you keep the sales velocity, and you keep some of the BSR rank as well. So adding a variation to a product is great, and it's a great way to increase your digital footprint, especially if your first product does really well. Adding a second product in a different color, a different style variation, or maybe even different style variation can help you dominate in that market. So it's a great way to differentiate your product. And I'm a big fan of even just launching a product with a couple different variations, as I said, to get that dominance from day one and to further collect more data on what works and what doesn't work. So don't overcomplicate differentiation, guys. You do have to do it. Don't go ahead and just launch the same product as everyone else who's already selling in the market. But have a clear idea on differentiation. Have a clear idea on what you want to do. If you're struggling to get ideas and feedback, what you can do is use the Pick Food tool, which is basically you can run a poll on existing Amazon sellers. You get to ask them questions and get direct feedback from actual people who shop on Amazon. And you can really narrow that down into your demographic as well. So that's super cool. And the other thing would be to go to Reddit and create a post in a sub niche which is related to the product you're planning to sell, and then get some feedback from people so you can see how you can differentiate from real people who are interested in that niche. You have to differentiate. Don't just go ahead and launch exactly the same product as everyone else, because you're not going to get sales, at least not in the long term. Do it properly. This is one of the biggest keys of succeeding on Amazon. If you're able to differentiate well, you will succeed and you'll convert from day one, even if you have no reviews. So take it seriously, guys. Differentiation is absolutely huge.
All right, guys, we just went through the entire product research module. So at this point, you should have an idea of the product you are looking to sell, or at least a very, very confident process in how to find products. So what is the next step after we find a product? We got to figure out how to get that product made. We got to sample test the product. We really got to work on our negotiation skills. We got to go through it all. So that's right what we're going to get into next. And just realize this is the only phase that you don't really control, right? You don't necessarily control the price someone quotes you at. You don't control the speed, the professionalism. So this is one phase where it really, there is a learning curve to dealing with suppliers, setting up a production line, just being confident, ordering samples, placing an initial order. So we're going to go through all of that right now. Stay tuned.
All right, guys. So we are going to talk about the step-by-step to finding a product and then actually getting this product ordered. So we're going to break down Amazon product sourcing specifically for private label. Keep that in mind. If you hear sourcing for general Amazon FBA, it's typically for reselling because it's a lot more technical than this. So the first step is simply find suppliers. Once we find a supplier, we got to contact them and negotiate to a final price point. After we negotiate, agree to a price, we're actually going to order samples. We want to do that from at least 3 manufacturers to get an entire idea of the market. And once we've actually sampled, we are going to talk about how to calculate the order size and actually place an order. All right, so let's actually get into the step-by-step. We are going to use the monocular product for this example. As a caveat, we've said already, but any product we're using here is probably not one you're going to launch. We do that so we don't blow up good markets, right? So this was a really good product a couple years ago. We actually had a student launch it. He had, and probably still does have, a lot of success, but we've found the product, right? So we're going to come back to Amazon. We are here for the keyword monocular. You want to do what I'm about to show you on one of the main keywords of your product, which by now you have the primary keywords. Shouldn't be hard at all. Pick one of the high search volume ones. Once we're here, we're going to run the SniperInsights Chrome extension. I have that up on the next tab. And so now we've already analyzed the market, right? So we're not really looking at the listings themselves. What we're going to do is click find possible supplier right here. And then boom, we land on Alibaba. As soon as we land on Alibaba, what we're going to do is check trade assurance. This is your insurance, essentially. If anything were to go wrong with an Alibaba shipment, you are protected and fully reimbursed for anything. Out of in 4 years and probably close to 1,000 shipments at this point, I've had one go completely wrong, just went missing. That was in the height of shipping and logistic issues during the pandemic. So, I mean, you're probably fine, but it saved me $4,000. So make sure you only talk to manufacturers who opt in. It's basically everyone on Alibaba at this point opts in. If you're talking to someone who doesn't, that's a sketchy reason they're not. So just filter like that, and then do verified supplier. So this essentially means Alibaba went to that manufacturer's warehouse, actually looked and made sure they have the infrastructure, they have the setup to sell what they're marketing, and it's a little more comprehensive than that, but just know they've actually been checked. Verified pro supplier would be nice, but it's pretty new at this point, so it cuts out a lot of results. And most really good suppliers, manufacturers who I've worked with don't necessarily have this yet. So I wouldn't do that, or there's going to be slim pickings. Okay, so here we are, and just you see how quick that was. We found the product right back on Amazon, SniperInsights, find possible suppliers. Here we go. So what we would want to do at this point, we know the target market. And one thing you want to keep in mind is these prices on Alibaba are not necessarily what you're going to get. And I wouldn't go as far to say it doesn't mean anything, but this is purely a marketing choice of what number they put on this screen. They know every purchase, because it's a wholesale site, is done through negotiations, through a chat, through a back and forth, and is placed elsewhere. So a lot of times your final price won't be within this range. So let's go all the way back. Let's try to match one of these two products and see as close as we can get. These look a little big. That's a telescope. This looks pretty close. It's 39 to 50, it says here. So that's not going to do it all unless they're just marketing poorly. But let's see if there's more. And oh, boom, there it is. So what we would want to do at this point, the best way to do it is simply hit the chat now button. All right, so once we actually hit the chat now, it's going to just prompt a chat. What you do not want to do is just say, hey, what's the price? You want to come at this with the most organized, consolidated template, we can call it, or list of questions, inquiry. What we want to avoid is a back and forth, a ding, 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 like just one question, because you will see you will be contacting several. So it becomes chaos if you are not organized, if you're not dialed into exactly what you are asking, holding them to answering the questions, because a lot of times they simply won't answer every question at the get-go. So this is what I typically use. I don't always go into this much detail, to be honest. At a certain point, you kind of know the exact questions based on the product you are launching. But this is our FBA University supplier contact template, and it's really good because it basically has all the questions you generally want to ask set up. And so basically just says, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm from company, whatever. Say you're from a company, even if your brand isn't finalized, whatever, just try to be as professional as possible. Although it's not really going to, if you're willing to spend your money, they'll probably talk to you, but it just helps. And then you want to give a product example. So I would paste this monocular link. I would just throw that there. And then for everything else, you would want to get the product specifications, the weight, shipping weight. You're just trying to confirm that the product you're interested in, similar to the one on Amazon, is their listing. So we're trying to avoid miscommunication. Obviously, there's a little bit of a language barrier, so you want to be as direct as possible. Then we're going to ask about price at 500, 1,000, 5,000. Make sure you don't, even if we are going to order less than 1,000, which you typically will do, we don't want to let a supplier know that till as late as possible, sometimes even after sampling. And then we talk about logo, custom box packaging. We ask, can you send a custom sample to your zip code if you're in the US or international? You don't have to be in the US. How long will it take? You want to get an idea of production time. You don't want to start sampling and get into business with someone who's always delayed and it's 3-4 months till they can make it. Are you able to work with DDP shipping? This isn't crucial to know, but DDP just means the supplier will take care of shipping. EXW, XWorks is basically you handle shipping. We have shipping companies. If you ever need them, hit me up for that or hit any of us up on the channel. But that's not something that would disqualify. But the more legitimate, the bigger, the better manufacturer typically has their own shipping companies, and it just makes it easier as long as they're giving you the best rates. And then you can ask anything else. You can sign off. And so what I do, you can also attach this file, but all I would do is copy that there, paste that there, and then send. And then as soon as you hit send, it turns into a chat, and you're really going back and forth. What you want to do is hit more than just one. So we hit one. Let's look if we can find another. Boom, this is pretty close as well. And then it's simply a copy paste at this point. It's just essentially you're doing outreach, right? You're just doing cold outreach to these people who are marketing like they have the product, and you want to hold them to every question. So a lot of times they'll answer 1 or 2 questions. Keep like you got to be firm here, just saying, please respond to every single question. You can even highlight the ones they don't. And then you will get a price point. And at that point, the negotiation begins, right? And you really want to be consistent in your negotiation and not just throw out random prices. So if we are trying to get this particular product at, let's say to fit our margin analysis, to fit that 30% net margin, 40% gross margin, we need to get it at $9. So we reach out to them, they hit us back and say it's $11.50. Because we want to get it to 9, and even the best negotiators almost always find a middle ground. They're very unlikely to just accept your first retort to their catalog price. You want to set a price much lower. So if they say, hi, here's all the information, our price for 1,000 units is $11.50, you should say something like, based on our margin analysis, we're looking to source this for $786. And you don't want to use round numbers, right? Because if you just say we're trying to source it for 7, it kind of looks like you're pulling things out of your ass. And to a degree, we are, but we have a final number we're trying to get to. So we just want to be as direct, as professional, and as pinpointed on a exact number based on a reason that makes sense as possible. So that's the initial process. You really, really don't want to take their first price. A lot of times these sales reps are, they're not necessarily the highest level workers, and they basically have a catalog price where they're instructed to respond first to an inquiry with the set price, and then usually at each inventory quantity, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, they are able to have price minimums. But if you don't negotiate hard, you will not find that price minimum. You will spend tens of thousands of dollars long term on these products if you don't find the right price point. So that is the start. Let's move on to the next phase. All right. So the actual sampling process itself, you want to be very, very clear on what the supplier is offering, what their price is, their ability to produce quickly, their ability to customize. Basically, everything you'd possibly want to know should be negotiated and agreed upon before you sample. And the reason for that is if you don't know everything and you sample, you're going to wait for the sample to arrive, and then you're going to spend money on the sample. You're going to waste time as well. And if it's not going to work anyway, say the price was too high and you didn't realize it, well, that's a big waste of time and money, right? So agree on just about everything you can before you sample. Then, when you are actually ready to sample, there's two options. Option one is you sample it yourself. And for as many products as possible, that's what I try to do. That's what many of our students try to do. It's right. It's peace of mind, right? It's your business, especially if it's your first product. It's kind of nice to do, but there are many, many products that you're not going to know how to really test, and you're probably not going to have the most amount of confidence even after you have it for a couple days. I would say for my own brands, it's about 50-50. So I have a fitness brand, all those products I'm testing, but other products, one of my brands, I sell some baby products. I don't have children yet, depending on when you watch this, but I don't. I just wouldn't be that confident in myself testing it, and I would rather just pay someone to test it. So that takes me to the second option, which is a quality control expert. I have one up just to make it easy. VTrust is who I use. A lot of people in our community use, and they are a third-party independent quality control tester. They will basically get your products sent to them. They're in China. So instead of waiting 5 to 7 days for a sample to get here to the United States, it'll get there next day, typically in China. So it'll save some time. And then you'll get a very comprehensive report of everything they've tested on the product. They're really good too, right? They test everything. So say you have an electronic, they test the battery life, they test all these types of things that I couldn't do, right? I could maybe try, but then you don't really have time or the infrastructure to do that. So that's a really good option, especially on your first couple of orders. Even if you do get it sent to yourself, you want a company like this to inspect the entire inventory before it ships out. So that is essentially the sampling process. Sampling itself is so nuanced to the product it is. There's not a lot to go over, but make sure it's not just you sampling. Even if you get it sent to yourself, have your girlfriend, have your kids, have whoever is around and is objective and doesn't want the product to be launched. Like you really want it to succeed. So it'll be tough for you to be objective. So that's what you want to do we always recommend order samples from 3 different suppliers. The reason for ordering multiple is even if, let's say, you negotiate with a couple different suppliers, one has the best price, you get their product and you're satisfied, great. But there might be another product that you didn't sample that just blows you out of the water and you realize, oh shit, product number 1 was solid, but this is actually something that is differentiated, is unique to the market, is just way better. So 3 is really the staple. You got to pay for each sample. Somewhere between about 40 to 150 is the price for each sample. Something you got to do. You do not want to launch a product that's low quality. There's not too much you can do that make it impossible. But if your product's getting poorly reviewed, you really can't overcome that, no matter how white hat, black hat, gray hat you want to get. So sample thoroughly. Then when you are ready to place the order, have that peace of mind. So let's talk about how to actually place an order and what quantity to use. So at this point, we've sampled the product, whether it be yourself or a quality control expert like VTrust. We know we like the product. It's a go, right? So first thing we got to do is figure out what our initial order quantity is going to be. So to do that, we're going to use data. It's still going to be an estimate. It's really hard to know, and it's always within a certain range. But this is how we calculate our initial order quantity. We use CPR because this is the amount of sales over 8 days you need to get to page 1. Everything we're doing is based on getting to page 1. So we want to use the actual demand in the market. What we're going to do is take the average CPR of our primary keywords. I just found these really quickly, but this is from a reverse ASIN via the SniperInsights on a couple monocular sellers. And so what we want to do here, total the average of this column. If you are using Excel, you can also see it right here. So that's a really good average CPR for primary keywords. That's 31.7. So I'll just write that here, 31.7. And then what we're going to do is take that over 8, because these are 8-day sales. We want to get that to daily sales. Then we're going to multiply this by 60 as a general amount of time that it takes to place an order for that order to actually arrive at Amazon. Could be longer, could be shorter, depending on your manufacturer. This is just an estimate. So here we multiply that by 60. And this says 237. So I always round up to the closest, 50 or so. So this would be a 250 unit initial order. All right. So when we're actually placing the order, at this point, we have everything dialed in. We've talked to manufacturers, we've negotiated, we've sampled, we know what quantity we want to order, how to get this going, right? How to actually place an order. So we're going to run through this pretty quickly. It's a little technical, but just know it's one step after the other. So first, you want to agree on the order. Terms, the ideal terms and the best terms we can get are 30/70. That means you paid 30% right when you're placing the order and 70% when the goods are actually shipped out. A lot of suppliers will try to get 50/50, try to get even 70/30. That's something you can negotiate, and usually you can win that to keep it 30/70. That helps cash flow. Once we've done that, we have to create a dummy listing in Amazon Seller Central. So we essentially have to just create a listing. It's going to eventually be our real listing, but right when we create it, we don't need anything filled out. We just need the barcode it produces. So if you're brand registered, you just create a listing. You don't necessarily need a UPC, and you shouldn't buy a UPC. There's no use. But if not, you got to go to nationwidebarcode.com or GS1 or wherever barcodes are sold. And just keep in mind, the UPC is only needed to create the Amazon listing because you need a product ID. So it's just a barrier to entry for the Amazon listing system. The barcode you actually need to send your supplier is a different barcode. And so the UPC is just a one and done. So let's go to Nationwide Barcode. basically, this is a website. You just buy refurbished barcodes from GS1. You can get 5 for about $20 here. Each one on GS1 is like $150. There's almost never an issue with nationwide barcodes. If there ever is, just send it to support. They'll reimburse, no cost. So what you do is usually you can just scroll down and then you just ready to order. Yeah, ready to order UPCs. And then you just scroll down. It's a pretty janky website. So this is not not the craziest complexity, but you got to come down here. Let's see if I can actually find the place where the barcode ordering is. When you're brand registered, you don't need this. So this is kind of something I haven't done in a while. And so let's see if they make it clear. So 5 or $20, and there's almost always a discount. So let's say we wanted 5, then we just add to cart. And then here we just apply the coupon code. There's always a coupon code, save 20, proceed to checkout. They'll send it to you. Once you have the barcode, you want to come up to catalog on Seller Central, and then you want to go to add products. So once we get to add products, then we are going to say I'm listing a product not sold on Amazon. Once we do that, this is where we'd actually get to create our listing. And what you want to do is you want to know the category the top sellers in your niche are listing their product in. So you want to know that. Here you can just say, I'd say monocular. And the back end of the product creation changes very often. So if it's a little different for you, don't worry about it. Product type, you would want to, now Amazon's AI system is pretty good at just identifying it. So that looks like a good category. And then I'm brand registered, so I don't actually have to enter a UPC. But if you were not, you would go UPC and then you would just copy that in and save. The final piece of this puzzle is just getting the barcode your manufacturer needs, right? So you kind of have to jump around because what you need to do is get your manufacturer the barcode so you're not holding up manufacturing. And so you basically, anything physical that's going to go on your product that you're designing, product packaging, your barcode, your product insert, you want to get that to your supplier as quickly as possible after you place the order, because they could slip the product inserts all in at the end, but in terms of product packaging or labels, it's typically hard for them to produce at scale without having everything they need. So once you have the UPC, then you just go here. I'm on the FBA inventory page of Seller Central. You go down and then to print item labels. And then here we are on the actual page. All we need to do here is simply print one of these, right? So we just go one, print item label. It doesn't matter what size it's on. This is going to download, and then boom. This is your Amazon barcode. You send this file. Keep this in mind. This barcode will never change. Your product FN SKU Amazon barcode never changes. When we create a shipment and send those labels, that's new each time. This is what you need to send your supplier.
All right. So what we're going to go through real quickly in this video is how to actually get a shipping quote. It's not hard, but there's a lot of steps and you got to have different information from different parties, if that makes sense. So at this point, you're probably, you might even be just negotiating and trying to get a per unit from China to Amazon. So that's what we're going to try to do. So the first step is from your manufacturer. Only your manufacturer will know this. You request what's called the packing template. And what a packing template is, carton size and weight, all goods, each product has specific cartons, and the cartons are how they're shipped from overseas. So let's say you were going to order 200 of pens, right? And pens are packaged individually, but they have cartons that have 10 pens per carton, and their size, their length, width, height, weight is whatever. Then you just, instead of sending 200 units in shipping, you're just sending 20 cartons. So shipping's a little different just because that is how to most efficiently ship goods from overseas. So include size and weight. Then you want to come down to the actual shipping module of Amazon, create shipment, and then go down and hit the create case pack. And when you're here, you just name it whatever, pens, 10 piece. That's a case pack, 10 units per box. Let's say it's 17 by 16. Obviously, you're going to get this. Don't copy this. By 25, let's say pens are very light, so this can get out the door for 10 pounds. Now you're going to save that, and then you're going to scroll down and complete the shipment. And then once you complete it, you're going to get the address. Then once you have the address, you're going to take that address, and then you're going to go back to your either supplier if it's DDP, manufacturer. DDP just means your manufacturer is handling shipping, but they still need an address. Or you go to our freight forwarder and you say, okay, now you have both the case pack template, so you have the cartons, and you also have the address, and you basically just say, for these, we're shipping 200 pens, and then what our freight forwarder will ask you is, what is the case pack, aka the packing template, and where is it going? So they basically calculated on, okay, here's one carton is this size, there's 10 of those going, so they automatically calculate that, and it's going to this location, and then you'll get a total shipping quote based on 200 units, divide that by 200, and that is how you do it. So it's not hard, but each step kind of needs to be followed, and different, only your supplier has the packing template, only Amazon's going to tell you where to go. And then if you're using a freight forwarder, you got to get the quote from them. So it's a little, you'll get used to it, but just know you got to kind of bob and weave.
All right. Today, we're going to talk about shipping your inventory to Amazon and how to print labels. Beautiful phase of the business, right? We're finally here. We're actually shipping things in. We're ready to make a sale. And so this can work a little different, whether it be you sending inventory from your home. So usually that would be on the reselling journey, or directly from a supplier. So private labels, there's never going to be a middleman from that. But in general, it's the same process. So let's go into here and talk about how we do this. So I am on the shipping queue, but just to take you on a little journey of how we got there, I'm going to go to Seller Central and then Inventory and then Manage FBA Shipments. And so that's where I am here. I just landed here because Loom slows down my browser speed. So what we want to do here is go to Send to Amazon. And so once we hit Send to Amazon, what we're going to see this. And so we basically have this entire Send to Amazon module. And so if you were to approach this for the first time in your business, this would be blank. So the first thing you need to do, enter this ship from address. As you can see, I have a ship from address that's my supplier over here in China, and then a photo studio who I sent some units to, and I wanted them to send to Amazon directly after. And so you can add whatever address. Okay, so then what you would want to do is you need to create, and all your SKUs will be down here. So you need to create what's called a packing template. So you would go here and then create a case pack template. Your supplier, especially for private label, will ship out units in a certain carton. So let's say you're shipping 500 units in. The carton size is going to be, let's just say 12 units. So, divide whatever your shipment is by 12, and they won't let you, they'll let you know this on an order. They'll be like, hey, just so you know, can you buy 504 pieces or 492 because it's in cartons of 12. But then you would simply just ask them for what's called a packing template, and the packing template will just have the carton information. So that information, as you can see, you just need this information. Units per box, that's easy. Box dimensions, length, width, height, same as your product
package. You might have to convert this from centimeters to inches, but that's, we have Google. Box weight, same thing. Maximum carton size right now in SPD shipping, which you always want to use, is 50 pounds. And so if anyone ever gives you a box that's over 50 pounds, let them know that's not going to work for Amazon. 99% of your suppliers are set up, their business runs on the West e-commerce. So that runs through Amazon. They're basically way ahead of you in terms of fitting their boxes to what actually works for Amazon. But just have that in mind. So you fill all this out, and then you would just click the boxes here, confirm and continue, shipping. So I'll show you this. This is a unique product and nice to show a little disparity. If you were just sending individual units, this is a triathlon suit I send. So they package everything in one box. I can do 500 and it's all in one box because it comes in like a very, very thin poly bag, right? And so I don't even need one, even though this is a private label product. So let's say 10 are going to be sent, and obviously this ship from address would have to be changed. So if you were sending 10 from your home, you would want it from your home because you're going to use UPS partnered carrier at home. And what that is UPS automatically prints shipping labels and actually charges you through Amazon. So you don't have to get another carrier rates. You just go there and drop it off. That's only available domestically. For just to show you this, we'll keep it in a Florida address, ready to pack. And so pack individual units. And then if we go down here, let's say, it could be multiple boxes. If it's multiple boxes, what you would have to do is enter. So let's say it was in 2 boxes. Then you would open up the web form. You would have to have each box individually measured. But for this purpose, I'm going to go back and say everything will fit into one box. Okay. Let's just hypothetically say my box is 17 by 18 by 24, and it weighs, there's 10 units, it weighs 15 pounds. And so this is probably going to, oh no, it didn't. Let's say you lowball the size and weight. It will cross-check your, let's say 12 units versus what the individual package size and weight is. And if it doesn't make sense, it'll prompt you to either redo it or at least confirm it. And so confirm and continue. All right. And then, so, whenever you're sending, you want to just put in the estimated date. To be honest, it doesn't really matter that much, but especially it doesn't matter if you're shipping from international. If you're doing it domestically from your home, you're going to know the date. So you want to put it accurately, but just try to do it as close as possible. Let's say tomorrow. This is where you get to choose your carrier. So again, this is a domestic address. So UPS gives you their Amazon carrier rate. Say you weren't using UPS and you were shipping via FedEx, you could change it to FedEx. You won't be charged for that. You'll only be charged for this if you create the shipment and then send it using UPS. So, what I would do here is accept charges, or I'm going to use FedEx because I don't want to get charged for a shipment I'm not actually going to send. And as you can see, it's going to a warehouse in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's probably because the address is in Florida. If you were in California, go to a different area. Right here, this is what we need. This is all led to this moment. Boom, one box. Okay, so just download this, literally PDF this, and then you send it. You either slap this on your box if you're doing it, or you send it to a supplier in private label. And so say there was 20 boxes, there would be 20 of this label. You would send it would all be in, one document with a couple pages, but you would send this to whoever is doing the shipment. They'll know what to do with it. If it's a supplier, if you're using a prep center in the US, they'll know what to do with it. If it's yourself, print this out, slap it on each label, bring it to carrier you've chosen. I mean, in the US, you should use UPS. It's just cheaper, and then you don't have to pay. You can just literally walk in and drop it off. But this is the name of the game. Create those shipments, get everything dialed in, and get to the fun part of selling.
Let's talk about creating your Amazon listing. And for that, we're going to be using the SniperInsights tool as usual. If you head to the SniperInsights dashboard and scroll down to listing optimization, there's really two ways you can create a listing. One is the AI Listify, which is our AI tool, where you can put in phrases or keywords and it actually generates a listing for you. Now that's still in beta mode, so the results will be varied. And the second is Listify, where we can create our own listing. That's what we'll be using today. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now, how this works is you enter an ASIN or a product URL. You never want to be creating a listing from pure scratch. You always want to base it off an existing listing. We're not going to plagiarize them, but it's great to use them as a foundation. So you go ahead and put your listing in here, your ASIN or your product URL. Luckily, I've actually done this before, so I have something I've saved here, so let's get into that. So now I'm in the listing I created previously, or the ASIN I chose previously, which is the plastic wrap dispenser or the Ziploc bag organizer. You might see me use this from time to time. This is my go-to when it comes to demonstrating different products on the Amazon platform. So this is what it looks like. So we've got our ASIN up here, our product up here. You can input any keywords that you want to use. So your keyword bank from your keyword research, you just want to hit add more keywords, put all your keywords in here, and it will then index them. Same with phrases. So keywords, individual words, phrases, obviously where the word count is more than one. What it then does is it analyzes your listing. So it analyzes whether the title contains 150 plus characters, how many bullet points are there, how many characters in the description or the A plus content, how many characters are in each of the bullet points. It also analyzes the images. So are they 1,000 by 1,000 pixels? So Amazon always wants you to have crispy clear images that when you scroll the mouse over it, it actually zooms in. And to do that, you need to have at least 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. Are you using 7+ images in your listing? You need to be using at least 7 images in your listing. One of those is going to be a video, but you want to have crispy clear images. Are you using hero image? Have you got infographics? Are you using lifestyle images? You need this. And then review analysis. Do you have 10+ or more reviews on your listing? And is your average star rating above 4.5? So these are all the things that the SniperInsight tool will take into account to determine your evaluation score. This is what it looks like when you actually start to build out your listing. So on the right-hand side is going to be the ASIN that you've uploaded. SniperInsight will take the different attributes and assets from that listing and put them on the right-hand side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to build out your listings here. So title, all of your bullet points, your description, and your backend search terms. So as you go through and actually type these out, so let's just say test Ziploc bag organizer, plastic wrap dispenser. So as I type these in here, you can see they're checked off in the phrases section here. So you know when you've used each of the phrases. So as you add your keyword bank in, you might have 15, 20, 25, 30 words or 30 phrases in here. You can see as you go along, as each one is ticked out. And if there's any possible brand names that are found, the SniperInsight tool will highlight them in here so that you know there's brand names that you shouldn't be using in your listing because that is plagiarism and that is not allowed. If you have any single keywords, you'll put them in here. This is super helpful for when it comes to creating the backend search terms. So as you know, you want to use phrases for the title, bullet points, and description. But when it comes to the backend search terms, you want individual keywords, just like here, with a space between them. So that's how we put them in here. So essentially, when it comes to your listing, just to recap, in your title, you want to make sure you're using 3 to 5 phrases. So your main phrases based on your keyword research, you want to be using 3 to 5 phrases in there. In your bullet points, you want to be using the phrases again, repeat them once. And then you also want to be adding in here other phrases which you couldn't fit into your title that are highly relevant for your product. And then when it comes to the description, again, any unused phrases, you want to throw them in here. You want to stuff your keywords here. So you want to use as many phrases as it makes sense, but you don't want to make it so it's unillegible. You want it to read well, and you want to basically optimize this so a human can actually take it in and that it's digestible and that it sells. You want to write the benefits. So write your listing to sell. Don't write to describe the features. Your features are going to be outlined and shone through using the listing images, the infographics, and the lifestyle images. So your description, bullet points, and title should all be keyword referenced, and you should be aiming at the benefits of the product. You don't want to be recounting and reiterating features. You want to be using benefits. So write it to sell. Once you've got that filled out and everything looks good, what you want to do is you want to hit export here, and then you can either export this as a text file or CSV file, and then from there you can just copy and paste it in to your actual Amazon listing. And also you can save your listings here as well. So once you've filled everything out, make sure you hit save so that it doesn't lose any data that you put in. And you can build this out over time. So what I like to do is I don't like to do everything in one go. A lot of the times I want to take my time. So I might do my title first one day, then I might come back and do my bullet points. But basically, whatever you have finished for the day or whatever, you want to make sure you save it. So make sure you hit save here. Otherwise, it won't save and you'll lose all your data. So essentially, that's what it looks like. So when you're finished, all you're going to do is copy each of the sections and paste them into your Amazon listing. So keywords are going to go into the search terms, the backend search terms. Title is going to go into the product description or the title, and then the bullet points are going to go into the key features or the bullet points. So that's how you paste it in. So you're going to paste it into your Amazon listing.
And that's pretty much it when it comes to optimizing your listing, guys, using the SniperInsight tool. It makes it super easy. You want to check your evaluation score. Now, you won't have 10 plus reviews or a 4.5 star rating, but you want to make sure that you're hitting the title, bullet points, 100,000 characters, 150 characters in the bullet points, 1,000 by 1,000 pixels, and 7 plus images, so that you have an evaluation score somewhat around the 7.37 mark. The rest will come once you actually launch, when you get 10 plus reviews and a 4.5 star rating. So that's it, guys.
So before you get your pictures and videos done by either a freelancer or photography agency, we recommend using a photography agency. There's a couple of things that you need to nail down so that you have a full understanding of what they'll be providing and that they have all the ammunition they need to go ahead and actually build out these photos and videos for you. So I like to create a photo storyboard. This is just a collection of all of the best parts of the competitors that I want to take and influences that I want to use to create an even better product and sell my unique selling points that my product has, because I would have differentiated well, and that would enable me to stand out on the Amazon platform through my photos and videos. So the way I do this is I really want to nail down a couple of elements. And when it comes to photos on Amazon, you really need to hit these key things. So Amazon photos aren't like your wedding photography photos. They aren't like the photos that your friends take for you on the weekend. You need to nail the specific format of Amazon photos. So the first one is hero image. This is the initial image against a white background, and this is super crispy, super clean. It's going to be the highest quality image because it needs to show the product either in use or by itself. If you have a custom box packaging, you want to build that into the hero image here, and that's going to be really the first image that people see. It's the most important image. If your image isn't clickbaity and it doesn't make people want to click on the listing, then you're not going to convert and no one's going to buy your product. So pay attention to this image. I like to get 2 hero images done because that way I can test image A or image B and see which one performs the best. If you only get one done and you don't switch the angle up or change something about it, then you'll never know if another hero image potentially would convert better. So always get 2 hero images done. Now the next set of images is the infographic images, and this is where you're going to sell the benefits of the product. Through the infographic images, we're going to be telling people exactly what the key features and benefits of our product are, so that they don't have to go through our bullet points and that they can see straight away why they should be buying our product. In the infographics, you want to be selling the key features and benefits of the products to go super hard and sell the product hard. If you have unique selling points, you want to be talking about them here, and you want to make sure you're doing everything so you can sell your product and make it better than the competition and take people away from your competitors, especially if you have unique selling points. Now, the next set of images that we're going to be talking about is lifestyle images. And these are images of people actually using the product. These are super important because people need to visualize themselves using your product, because essentially that's what they're going to be doing when they're buying it. If they can visualize themselves using it, you'll convert at a higher rate and you'll make more money. So that's super key as well. And the last set of pictures I like to get is some giftable pictures, especially if my product is a giftable product, and especially if I'm going to be selling it around Q4 period, or it is going to be super in high demand during the Q4 period. Get some giftable images. So images of people gifting the product, images of the product with a bow on it, wrapped up, gifting it, and just showing generally happy people gifting the product. That is going to be huge for your conversion, especially around the Q4 period. So once I have all these, I create a storyboard for my photography. It has a bunch of different influences from different places, and I basically will send that to my photographer and make it super clear on what I want to do. Then you'll go back and forth with your photographer. Once they've done the first draft of photos, then I'll do another revision, and you just go back and forth until you're completely happy with what you're getting done. Now, once you've got it completed and you're happy, confirm that with the photographer, and then you're good to go. Getting A+ content is optional at this point. If you haven't got brand registry, don't go for the A+ content. If you have got brand registry, your photographer can create that additional A+ content for you, and you can use that in your description to further aid your conversion.
Once your listing is up and running and you've begun to start selling on the Amazon platform, one of the things you're going to want to keep an eye on is your indexing and your rank against keywords. So every keyword on Amazon has a specific rank next to it, and what your goal is to get to page 1 for that specific keyword. And the only way you're going to know how close you are to page 1 is either going through and trawling through hundreds of different pages to find out where your rank is and checking up on it on a regular basis, which you do not want to do. The other way is using our Sniper Tracker tool inside the SniperInsights product research tool, and that's going to allow you to track your keyword rank at any one time for a specific keyword attributed to your product, so you can see your positioning and see if you are scaling to that page 1 position or whether things aren't going so well and maybe you're losing rank. It's a great way to find out where you are. You use that ranking to influence your PPC campaigns, to influence your Search+Find+Buys when you get started as well. So it's super important that you know at any one time where you're ranking for a specific keyword. Now, to do that, we're going to click on the Sniper Tracker here. Once we load that up, we can have a bunch of different products in here. So you can see there's a bunch of different products in here that we're tracking. We're tracking the BSR, we're tracking the ranking against specific keywords. For this example, I'm going to be using the storage bag organizer, the Ziploc bag organizer we have been using previously. Let's click on that and we'll see what our ranking is. So within the SniperInsight Sniper Tracker tool, you can add in keywords. So if you do want to add in new keywords, all you have to do is add keywords in here, and then you can put in as many keywords as you want to track here. It will show you the date these keywords were added, the keywords are here. We'll show you the monthly search volume against those keywords, so you can quickly see whether the keyword's super important, has great monthly search volume, or whether it's one where you're not too fussed about where you rank on that because it might only have 100 searches in a month. And it also shows you your current rank as well. So you can see for this particular product, for Ziploc bag organizer, it's ranked number 4. So it is the 4th most popular Ziploc bag organizer. And for the keyword storage bag organizer, it's ranked 11th. So it's the 11th most popular storage bag organizer. These are great rankings. So I just built this for an example to show you guys. But basically what you want to do is you want to put in your top 15 to 25 keywords that are highly relevant for your product and that you're aiming to get to page 1 for. Dump them all in here and then add the tool in, and within 15 minutes, it will populate a rank for you. If you don't see a rank populated, like this strike through here, it basically means that you're not ranking for that, or you need to click fetch now, and essentially that will then fetch your ranking. So like a way of refreshing or updating the ranking. And this is going to become your sort of control hub, where you're going to go through this. If you're running PPC against specific keywords, you should see your ranking improve. So that 11 rank, for example, should go to 4 or 3 if I'm going super hard on my PPC for the keyword storage bag organizer. But essentially, this is where you're going to control everything. It's the first place I come to, especially when I'm launching a product, to decide whether or not I want to go harder on that PPC or whether I'm going too hard, it's not quite working, or I need to sort of rebalance my strategy there. When you've just launched a product, you don't want to start executing your Search+Find+Buys until you have a current rank, which is showing here. For example, if I'm not ranking for plastic dispenser, I can't then tell my friends or family, extended friends or family, friends of friends, to go ahead and search for that keyword, look for my organic ranking, my organic listing, and then buy it, because I'm not ranking at the moment for that keyword. So I'm not going to be showing up anywhere in that organic ranking. You want to wait until you have a current rank that's showing. It needs to be below 300. And at that point, you want to then go ahead and execute and get people to search for your listing, because that's when they're actually going to be able to discover it. If you don't have a ranking or it says still loading, it basically means you're not yet indexed for that keyword and you can't do a Search+Find+Buy because people won't find you. So wait until you have a rank before you execute any Search+Find+Buys, and use this as a way to influence your PPC campaigns and influence your strategy to ranking on Amazon, because it's super important. Add in as many keywords as you need. I recommend anywhere from 15 to 25 because those are the main keywords I like to target, and then just go from there. Look at it every day, ascertain where you're at, and see what changes you need to make to improve your overall ranking.
All right, guys, it's Michael again. You just went through the entire product listing, product creation phase. So there is only one thing left to do: make some damn sales. Let's go. So we are going to transition into the launch phase. Now, the Amazon launch phase is crucial because there is what is called the Amazon honeymoon period. And this basically means Amazon boosts your ranking, helps your exposure, good exposure, not bad exposure, so that you basically have an opportunity to play in the game. And some people think it's 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. Amazon doesn't disclose this, so nobody knows for sure. But the launch phase is crucial to take advantage of this honeymoon period. It can change the entire life of your product. So let's get into how to launch. Let's get into how to make some sales.
All right, let's talk about how to successfully launch your own product on Amazon. So if you are watching this, make sure it's in line with where you're actually at, right? So you've already found a product, used product research, keyword research, fundamentals to actually validate there is high demand. There's not too much competition on page 1. There's ability for new sellers to actually get to page 1. Then you would have had to actually source the product. Usually you're going through Alibaba, sourcing overseas, negotiating, making sure not only does this market look really good from a demand perspective, but it fits, and there's going to be enough margin for us to market and actually get our product in front of customers. At this point, if you're looking at how to launch, you should already have your listing written. Title, your bullets, your product description, your photos, any product video, all of your copywriting, the written part of your listing should be using those same primary keywords we found all the way back in product research. At this point, it's time to talk about how to actually maximize a launch, maximize what people call the Amazon honeymoon period, and really, really trigger the Amazon flywheel, which is the more you sell, the better you rank. The better you rank, the more you sell. It's a beautiful thing on that end, but it's not easy to do. Everyone's trying to do it. Let's dive in. First, what's the sign of a good launch? Let's talk about our primary goal. Our primary goal is simply to launch it in an effective way that allows us to rank on page 1 for as many possible keywords that we're targeting. And so why is this important? Well, 80 to 90% of sales on Amazon actually happen on page 1. So that means if someone's searching for the term camera, they land on page 1. Out of those who buy, and it's not 100% of people who buy, but out of those who actually do buy, almost 90% of them are going to stop on page 1, and a lot won't even scroll to the bottom. So you can intuit how crucial being on page 1 is. Let's talk about what the listings on page 1 have that others don't. What goes into Amazon page rank? The first thing is sales velocity. That just means how many units you're selling. The higher, the better. Difficult as a new seller without reviews to build this velocity. So we'll talk about that in a second. The second one is sales history. Again, tough for someone who's launching a product because you're not going to have history. Just know everyone who's launching new products, all these products you see, they're doing hundreds of thousands, if not millions a month. They all started at 0, can be done. And it's just important to understand as well. Amazon does take into account how long your product's been selling. So the longer you sell, the easier it is to rank. The third, which a lot of people miss, to be honest, conversion rate. What this simply means is out of the total amount of people going to your listing, what percentage of those convert? It's very crucial to have an optimized listing first, or your conversion rate is going to be low. All Amazon algorithm wants listings on page 1 that sell. To Amazon, the more sales, the better. The high converting, the better. They want products that convert because their referral fee, usually 15% from every sale. They also move products out of the warehouse. They can't have, millions of products across the country, across the world that don't move, or their whole logistics system, the whole business shuts down. The better you convert, the better you rank. The fourth factor, which isn't as direct as sales velocity, sales history, and conversion rate, is reviews. So reviews are very, very important part of all aspects of selling on Amazon, right? Because Amazon allows just about anyone who can qualify to sell on Amazon. So how do they level the playing field? How do they keep it authentic? Customer review. Very important part of an Amazon launch is maximizing your ability to get reviews in the first 30 to 60 days. Reviews are social proof. It just signals to other shoppers that, guinea pigs have gone out, bought the product, reviewed it, liked it, hopefully, and that gives more confidence to future buyers. Reviews also just help your rankings. If you have 0 reviews, very hard to get on page 1 for high search volume keywords. So let's go through the 4 steps to a successful launch. Number 1 is Amazon advertising, pay-per-click advertising. That's simply Amazon's internal advertising console. You pay per click, right? And so you can be placed in both keywords or ASINs. And that's really the only way people on Amazon find your product is they either go to Amazon, search it, and then find your product. And in this case, find your ad, which just looks like your overall product. It just has that little sponsored tag under, which I'm sure you recognize and definitely will after this. The other way is through other products on Amazon. So a lot of times people will be on another listing, let's say a competitor. Under that competitor, if you scroll down a little, there's a whole ribbon other listings. So if you show up there, you can get some clicks that way. The second part of a successful launch is Search+Find+Buy, targeted purchases with reviews. We'll get into this in a second. The third is review automation, sending review requests to your customers via the Amazon request a review feature. Now, you can't do a lot of things you used to be able to do going into 2024, but I'll show you how to actually set this up. The fourth, external traffic. Now, this is only if needed, only if you know what you're doing. External traffic itself basically is anything outside of Amazon where a user lands directly on your product from an external website. The most common instance of this is simply paid social ads So Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads, anything like that. Let's say you run a social media or you run another business and you have an email list. Well, now you're launching a product unrelated to what you usually talk about on an email list. You just want to try it out and say, let's see if my 5,000, let's say, subscribers would go and buy my product. That would also qualify as external traffic because they're coming from your email, landing directly on your listing. External traffic really helps ranking because you are essentially doing Amazon's marketing for them. So those are the fourth. Don't feel like you need external traffic right at the get-go, but just know it's something you can implement to really kind of add gasoline to your launch. So the first thing is Amazon pay-per-click. And what this means is this is an example of an Amazon sponsored listing. You can see the sponsored tag there. What you can do is, let's go all the way back to your primary keywords. You can target these keywords before you rank on page one organically. You can target them in PPC searches so that when someone searches the word camera, let's say, they see your product up at the top via sponsored ad. Those clicks and purchases via sponsored ad help your ranking as well. And so Amazon PPC we'll get into deeper in a second. You can run both automatic campaigns where the algorithm basically discovers anything it deems relevant, and the Amazon algorithm is very, very smart and a testament to how well you got to write the listing and the backend SEO part of the listing as well, so you can signal to the algorithm what type of product you are and what type of customers to show up for. Let's talk about the PPC launch campaigns. So we're going to launch with 4 very simple campaigns, and no, PPC is not something you set and forget. PPC, unlike a lot of things on your Amazon business, which you do once and you essentially don't have to necessarily update that often unless things aren't working, PPC is something you set just to get data, optimize, knowing that it gets better the more you optimize it. It's not going to perform incredibly right off the get-go, running ads to a listing with no sales history, no sales velocity, and no reviews. So 4 PPC campaigns to set up at launch. Number 1 is an automatic campaign. We usually set up a $5 budget where we're basically just letting the algorithm discover new keywords and new ASINs on their own. Then we're going to set up 2 manual keyword targeting campaigns. What we want to use here is your primary keywords. So the same keywords you found all the way back in product research that you used to write your listing, we're going to target those both an exact match and broad match in their own independent campaigns. We'll get into the true setup and what the ad types mean a little down the road, but this is just an overview. And the 4th campaign would be a manual product targeting. So this would be 10 different ASINs, aka products on Amazon, that you think you have a unique selling prop over. And that could be price, it could be quality of product, that could be quality of your digital listing, a lot of other things. But you only want to show up on either competitors that you have it USP over, or complementary products where if someone bought a camera stand, let's say, they're much more likely than independent shoppers to also buy a camera, right? So we'll get into this again, but 4 different campaigns, $10 budget on the keyword and product, $5 budget on the automatic. Okay, so let's go into what a Search+Find+Buy is. What a Search+Find+Buy does is replicate an organic sale from a customer. So what you want to do is get somewhere between about 10 to 15 buyers. And these buyers, you got to be very careful because this technically is in a gray area, just full disclaimer, against Amazon's terms of service. So you have to be very careful. You have to make sure your buyers are not family members. You really don't want to do people you work with or people who are frequently at your house, right? Who share your same Wi-Fi, and it would be very easy for the algorithm to detect that you two are related. So I've also heard people just say, don't do anyone you're Facebook friends with. In my experience, that's not an issue. Just know that Amazon's very particular about their reviews, their authenticity. You want to be careful. And what Amazon will do if they detect suspicious review behavior is usually they'll just remove the reviews to start. And then if you continue doing something like that, you can get a listing temporarily suspended or account temporarily suspended. So tread lightly here, but know it's a crucial part of your launch and rank strategy. How a search find buy actually works in practice is that you would send these buyers a keyword to search. So let's take camera. And to be honest, you want to start with primary keywords that are a little lower search volume. So still above 1,000 searches per month, but usually under 10,000 because it's just too difficult to rank on those high search volume keywords at the get-go. So let's say it was a black Sony camera with camera stand, something like that, where your product fits that exact criteria, but there's a little bit more ease on actually getting to page one. So you would send them the keyword, you would send them the ASIN or a picture of what your product looks like, and then that person is going to search the keyword, find your product organically, add your product to their cart, and buy. And so you have a search, find, buy, and you also want to make sure these people are willing to review. And so how we teach it, how we've run our own brands is anyone who's going to do this for you, you have to be willing to fully reimburse. So you're basically paying the cost of the product so that this search, find, buy helps your ranking one and then helps you get reviews too. So that's a crucial part of your strategy. It's something, full disclaimer, that you have to be careful from because you don't want to be too aggressive with these. The next part, automated emails and review requests. This is something that Amazon has really restricted in the past few years. Going into 2024, there's not too much customization or ability to directly communicate with your customers on Amazon's platform. So you want to use a tool for this. SniperInsights has a tool called Review Automation. And what you can do there is set up a automated review request. You'll probably recognize the wording and the emails that Amazon allows you to sell. Typically, it's just thank you for your purchase, a picture of your product, and then the 5-star embedded review form in the email where someone can just slap the whatever stars they are and actually submit the review. So you want to set this up as well for a few days after the product is actually delivered. So the reason you don't want to do it, you don't want to send these on the day the product arrives. When someone receives the product, they're not going to be willing to review it, right? They just haven't had enough time to test the product. So you want to wait 5, 7, up to 10 days after the product's delivered, and then set up this review automation so that the customer, hopefully by that time, has a little bit of emotional connection to your product and just slaps a 5-star very easily. All right, let's actually walk through how to set up an Amazon product launch. Now, the first thing you want to do is set up your PPC. And the reason for that is you can set up PPC as early as you can. Granted, you need a product listing to launch PPC campaigns, but because we created a dummy listing all the way back in the sourcing phase, we'll have that. And just know, if you say your product hasn't arrived yet, you can create PPC campaigns and add that product to your campaigns. And you don't even have to pause your campaigns. You can just have them running. They aren't eligible to spend until you have active inventory. So setting up earlier than later is always a good idea, right? You don't have to do it weeks in advance, but just know you can set this up early, come back when you're actually ready to flip the switch, go live, and just kind of edit everything. You don't have to create it in a rush when you're actually looking to sell. Setting up PPC for a launch, what you want to do is make sure before you go to set up that you actually have your primary 10 to 15 keywords. Remember, same keywords you found in product research. You should have these handy, have them in Excel, have them in SniperInsights, the My Keywords function, have them somewhere, have them offline for sure, just to make sure you have them. But we're going to use those, so be organized before. And then you want to identify 5 to 15 product listings you want to target to launch. And the easiest thing to do straight up is just find competitors that you're cheaper than. You can also find competitors that you think you have a better product than. You got to be objective here. So don't just pick anyone, but know that. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to use the sunset lamp for the purposes of the PPC setup demo. So what we're going to do is open up this. What you see here is sunset lamp, both primary keywords. So there's 11 keywords, 93,000 in search volume. And here's the ASINs, the products we're going to target. So what we're going to do is jump over to Amazon PPC. And once you're here, all of the campaigns we're going to set up at launch are sponsored products. So we're going to hit this, and then we land right here. So they change this a lot. So if you see that the setup, the format looks a little different, nothing significant ever changes. They just change the UX, the actual look of it. So what we're going to do here is first set up our auto campaign. So what we're going to do here is name this auto. This is ad group name. We'll have to name the campaign as well. And then we're going to add our product here. And then this one on targeting is going to be automatic. They're asking for a default bid of $1.42. What we're going to do, you always want to bid as low as possible to start on PPC campaigns, because you can always increase the bid. If you launch and you're getting impressions but not clicks, it just means you got to increase the bid, get more shots at goal, and the more times you're in the auction, the better placements you get. So I always start right around 3/4, so 75 cents. Superstition. For me, I always increase a couple just because a lot of people have similar methodology. And then negative keyword targeting, you can put your primary keywords so you don't duplicate bids, but I'm not going to here. Then campaign bidding strategy. So what we want to do is dynamic down only. That means this default bid, the algorithm can only bid at this price or lower. If you do dynamic bids up and down, which is the default, I don't know why, they can double your bid. So for me, I would rather have higher bids eventually, just be able to control it clearly by setting a maximum cost per click, then have this where you're setting a bid, but Amazon has leeway to basically increase it. So dynamic down only for this one. I'm going to go auto sunset lamp. You can create portfolios too if you have a bunch of products just to organize. For automatic campaign, somewhere between $5 and $10. So I'm going to set this at 5. And then all we're going to do is simply hit launch campaign. So I'm not going to do that here. This is a demo account, but that would be your auto campaign. Then we're going to hit this again, and we're going to set up keyword campaign. So right here, right back to sponsored listing. This one's going to be exact. And exact's super easy, and we'll go through it here. So same thing, you got to add your products every time. For exact match targeting, both keyword and product targeting campaigns use manual targeting. Here we're going to use keyword targeting. And then all the way down here, we're going to uncheck broad, uncheck phrase, just hit exact. It's going to suggest a bunch, but we just want to target our primary keywords. So I'm going to move this over here and boom. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is simply copy these keywords, and then we're going to paste it. Right here, I'm going to put instead of taking Amazon's suggested bid, which is not that accurate and it fluctuates a lot, knowing Amazon, they're always going to suggest you bid higher than you necessarily need to. So we're going to set a default bid for our exact match at just above $1. So we're going to do that. Boom, $1. Dynamic down only. And then campaign name, we're going to do keyword, boom, exact. And then we're going to come down here, $10 budget, launch. And so that's that. What we're going to do again is then go and set up our broad match. And I'm going to talk about the difference in these as well. Exact match means the keyword that you put as a target, the campaign will only be shown, the advertisement, will only be shown for that exact search. So if we come over here and look at sunset lamp projector, only searches that have this exact match, no spaces, no misspellings, no nothing, can be shown other than this. And granted, there's 14,000 plus searches a month here, so there's plenty of ability to get eyeballs, generate sales, build a business based on these keywords. But just know exact match, you're only shown on this exact search. So we're going to go down manual targeting here, keep keyword on here, and then we're going to uncheck phrase, unchecked exact. And what we're going to do is re-enter these keywords, but have it as broad match. And so what broad match is it's a intermediary between an automatic campaign, which is just the algorithm determining what your product is relevant for and then showing it, versus an exact match, which is just that exact search. Broad match is saying, okay, we want this to be the target, but instead of only showing for exact match of sun lamp, we want the algorithm to target everything that's broadly related to sun lamp. What does that mean? It depends how well the algorithm knows the keyword search. But again, the Amazon algorithm is really good. So anything related to sun lamp, say someone just misspelled sun lamp, did it as one word, or even did something like sunlight, right? That would be eligible for this kind of PPC. So we're going to do that. Add keywords. I'm going to go right back to $1 for the bids. We're going to add that here. And then broad match. You want to keep this in mind. You definitely want to do this. So we're going to negative target. And what we're going to do is paste our keywords again, because we already have an exact match PPC campaign targeting these exact keywords. So what we don't want is the algorithm duplicating bids. What can happen if you don't negative target your primary keywords in your broad match is, say someone searches sun lamp, there's multiple sponsored listings shown throughout the page, and your listing can be shown twice in the same place. Realistically, you get more bang for your buck being shown in different areas than having multiple listings of the same in one. So you don't want to duplicate bids. You don't want to waste money when someone could already see you on that page. You want to say everything related to sun lamp we want to target, but not sun lamp exactly. I'm already targeting that in my exact match campaign. Add keywords, dynamic down only, and this one would be keyword broad. So right here, I'm going to do a $10 budget there. Good to go. And then one more, our final campaign is our ASIN targeting. So I'm going to just title the ad group ASIN launch. And then same thing, we're going to add our ASIN. It's a manual targeting campaign. This time it's product targeting. And so what we want to do is hit individual products. We don't want to do expanded. That's like a broad match version of this targeting. And what we want to do is exact match it. And then we come here, we have our 10 products we want to target. We're going to copy these ASINs right here. We're going to enter it here, and then boom. And same thing here. I'm going to do a default bid of $1.03, and then we're going to fire that up, and we are going to launch. So those are your 4 PPC campaigns to set up. It's easier, to be honest, if you set all of these campaigns up in different campaigns because you can only control the budget on a campaign level. Say you were to have one campaign with multiple ad groups, your campaign budget means in the aggregate what you can spend. So we want to put $10 per day for launch on all keyword and ASIN targeting. We want $10 a day. Overall, this comes to about a $35 a day budget. You're not necessarily going to spend that every day, but it's enough data to get information, start validating what targets convert, and not blow your budget spending something crazy. So we're going to go into Search, Find, Buys next. Squadron, let's go. It's time. It's time to talk about Search, Find, Buy purchases. This is a critical part of a product launch because going all the way back to the flywheel, it's hard to generate sales velocity. It's hard to generate reviews. It's hard to increase your ranking at the start because you have everything going against you, right? It is possible. It works all the time. We execute launches for my brand, for Ryan's brand, who you also see in the videos, for hundreds of students' brands at this time. But the launch is very crucial. So this is a way to manipulate, for lack of better words, the algorithm, build some juice, get everything rolling, build some momentum. And this is a short-term strategy because you don't want to be paying for reviews throughout the life of the product. Because let's say your product's getting poor reviews. It's down to a 3.6. And so this is just a caveat, but I just want to make this point. If you're getting poor reviews, there's no amount of good reviews you can buy, you can put that'll overcome poor reviews. So if you ever are getting poor reviews, you got to improve the product or it's not going to work. Quality, Amazon is incredible at showing an authentic reflection of the product. A lot of sellers will do black hat type review services that only works temporarily because at a certain point it's not economically feasible to keep paying for reviews. So no, this is just a short-term strategy. You want somewhere between about 10 to 15 when you launch. Get them going as soon as possible. Get into it. So what we are going to do here is use this product as a demo. So we're still on the sunset lamp. Beautiful product. I use this in a lot of demos. It's a wildly high selling product. It's a price war. You wouldn't want to launch a product like this. What we're going to do here, so we're launched. We have PPC set up. And so how to send Search, Find, Buys. Remember, these are human beings who are not your family, don't work with you, don't share Wi-Fi a bunch, but you know them well enough that they do a favor for you and you're going to reimburse, or you make your own agreements. It's your business, but we typically reimburse just because they're doing a favor for you. It's very valuable. So what we're going to do before you send Search, Find, Buys, you have to look at the keyword ranking because when you launch, you're not going to be ranking for the majority of keywords. The Amazon search pages, they used to go in perpetuity. So if there was 10,000 products for a niche, there would be like 70, 80 product pages or more than that. I don't know, math. But now they pretty much just have 7. It could change. If you're watching this in the future, good on you. But just know not everyone's findable for each keyword. And really you want to get to page 1. So anyway, sunset lamp here, going all the way back. These are our primary keywords. So you want to make sure your Search, Find, Buy is on one of these keywords because they're in your listing, they're in your PPC. The entire core of our strategy is based on these keywords. So what we want to do is first come to SniperInsights or another tool, but we created SniperInsights. It's a beautiful tool. You can talk to the founders if you want any changes, and it's about 50% cheaper than all others on the market and does more than most. And so let's go to here. So what this is the SniperInsights Sniper Tracker. It's such a cool tool because you can see your actual ranking for each keyword. So this keyword itself is LED lights for room. What you're going to see very frequently when you launch is that you're not ranking in the top 300. But if we filter this by low to high and then look here, okay, so now we're seeing products we actually rank for. And so once you find one of these products, you want to really wait until you see one of your primary keywords ranking, which you're probably going to rank for a few of your primary keywords quicker than others, just because we have them in your title, we have them in the bullets, we have them in the product description, we're targeting them in PPC. The algorithm is very aware, if you created your product listing and backend correctly, that these are the keywords, this is the market that we're actually relevant for. So we want to come here and look on the current rank. So this means for bedroom projector light gets almost 2,000 searches a month. We're ranked 176. But we want to find one that is on our primary keywords list. Doesn't look like this demo product has one, but let's just, for giggles, let's just go and say boys lamp for bedrooms was one of our primary keywords. We would go here, just simply copy this, and then we would just paste that here. A lot of times you want to put the ASIN in. So let's just copy that. And then right here, you can just paste your listing. You can also just copy this image and put it right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then this is what you are sending to your Search+Find+Buys. The key here, send a couple, like as soon as you start ranking for a primary keyword, send that to, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 buyers. Make sure you got to follow up with people. People are lazy, especially if they're not Amazon sellers or entrepreneurs. They're doing you a favor. Most people will do it, but you want to stay on them. So send them this, let them know you'll reimburse. They will search this product. It'll look like this. They'll come down, find your product, buy it, and then leave a review. And then before you send the next round of Search+Find+Buys, don't just blindly send this keyword again. Make sure you come back here, look at the rankings, and send based on the current ranking. Because even if you send 2 or 3 of those, people buy it, and you're ready to send more, but you come here and see one of my main keywords, sunset lamp projector, I'm ranking better than I rank for this, then you alter, right? So you're always using the data to make your next move. That is how you use Search+Find+Buys. Tread lightly, be careful, but no, this is a key element of ranking quickly, maximizing the honeymoon period, and getting that Amazon flywheel flying. All right, let's go into PPC and how to actually optimize these campaigns. So what we're going to do, take one of these campaigns and show you how we would actually optimize this. So this is a phrase match campaign. Super helpful because we're able to actually show a little bit more of a nuance of the PPC optimization process, but let's go into it. So we're in the campaign, in the ad group. You want to go to the targeting section. And so what we can see here, the overall data for this time period, we're running a 26% ACOS. We don't have a ton of orders right now, nor do we have a ton of spend in this campaign because it's rather new. It's kind of low budget. Just know you can edit all these bids no matter what. So this is how you actually optimize PPC, make adjustments, pause campaigns that aren't working, etc. So what we want to do, you want to know your profit margin, optimize PPC for that break-even profit margin. So let's say we had a 53% ACOS on this target and we had a lot of data. We would lower targets that are working, but are working at a higher than 30% ACOS that way. And then ones that are converting under 30% ACOS significantly, we would increase bids. And so here, say we had a ton of data here. There's not a ton of data, But what we want to do is say, okay, we're bidding $2.88 here. It's returning about a 54% ACoS. What we're going to do is say, okay, this target clearly works, but it's not working profitably. So I want to lower this. You don't want to overcorrect each way. So what we always say is don't adjust bids by more than a quarter. Typically, what you want to do is adjust by 10 to 25 cents and continue adjusting until you find that mark. Say we lowered this by $1.50, then we just weren't getting any clicks, or we went all the way down to 9 or 10%. We're basically overreacting. And so here we would say, okay, 288 minus, let's say 20 cents. So 268, boom, save. That's good. Then here we would want to say, okay, this is 10%. We're getting $10 plus back every time we spend one. We want to spend more there. So it's $3.60 here. We're going to raise that up to $3.85. And just for knowledge, this is a high ticket product that we're willing to bid a lot more than we otherwise would because the selling price is more. What we always say is unless you're selling products $100 or more, you really want to make sure your cost per click all the way back in product research is $1.50 or below. Otherwise, it's just too expensive to get the data you need. And then the other thing we want to do, identify targets that are getting clicks here but no sales and simply pause them. Let's say this target it doesn't have any clicks right now. That probably means we need to increase the bid because it's just not being shown in the right places. But let's say this had 10 plus clicks and no sales. We would simply go right here, pause that bid. And then what you want to know is for the match type, for exact match and for ASIN targeting, your ad is only shown for those specific targets. What you see here is the complete story of your PPC. But for phrase match, which phrase match itself means anything with this exact phrase is shown, but it can have something before or after. So it could have this plus, let's say, a color black or something before, basically any variation with the exact phrase included. If it was broad match, it doesn't have to have the exact words at all. It could simply have something that the algorithm deems related to this target, and it could be shown. So for automatic, for phrase match, for broad match, to see what you're actually targeted for, you have to go to the search terms. In the search terms, you can always just sort the columns by going up here. Now you see, okay, here's the keyword, here's the target, but here's the actual search. So this one, it's a bad example because it's the exact same, but here you can see it's IPL laser hair removal. And then what it was actually shown for is Braun IPL laser hair removal. So that just shows you the algorithm deemed this is determined broadly related to this, which a customer searched. Braun is a brand name and it's shown there. Let's say you just notice that for this target itself, which would be this target right here, okay, a lot of these searches are working, but you want to go down, get more granular and say, okay, even though this target is working, this particular search term is not working. So you add it as a negative so that the algorithm knows don't show that specific search for this target anymore. You can do that. You want to be relentless in your automatic phrase and broad match targeting. You want to go into the search terms, actually identify what people are searching to show your ad, negate anything through this lever, clicking add negative exact, and going further there. So you can negative exact match to no longer be able to show your ad for this specific phrase. Just say your product's white. For instance, this product said, this is Derma Bold IPL. It's not that relevant for what we're talking about. But let's say you had a black product and you see that your ad's being shown for searches that specify the color white. Then you would come in here to negative targeting and just go like this and say white. So you would add negative phrase match. And that means your ad, no matter what target across the entire campaign, will not be shown for any search that includes the word white. So that's how you want a negative exact match keywords as well. But how you move the needle, basically make macro changes, is identify patterns that you just see. Nobody searching for anything related to this word would buy your product, because that word specifically is different than the product you had. You want to negative phrase that. It can be more than color. It could be, the voltage, something, a feature that's just different than yours. That is how you optimize, essentially teach the algorithm what your product is, what you should not be shown for. The more you do this, the more you'll find targets that are working, allocate more of the budget to targets that are just working, and eliminate all the noise. So you want to optimize 2 to 3 times a week, especially at launch. It's how you understand what your customer market is and really, really hone in on the few targets that are really working. This is how you scale, understand Amazon PPC, and really, really get comfortable with the data.
How do you manage your inventory correctly when it comes to selling on Amazon? Now, this is the hardest part for new sellers and even more experienced sellers, because a lot of people do get this wrong. They end up going out of stock and then they lose all the ranking that they worked super hard for. So I like to keep 75 days of inventory at Amazon at all times. And this is a simple maths equation. So 25 days for my manufacturer to make my product, 35 days for my product to ship from China to the Amazon fulfillment centers in the US, 15 days for my product to check in through Amazon's fulfillment centers, equals 70 to 75 days. This is really where I want to be. Now, if you don't have 75 days of stock, you run the risk of going out of stock and losing ranking. So to calculate how many units of stock you need to keep at Amazon at any one time, you simply need to take 75 and multiply it by your average daily number of sales. This is going to give you a round figure for the number of units you need to keep at Amazon at any one time to prevent you going out of stock and losing all your ranking. Now, this is going to be super difficult for you new sellers, especially you guys who haven't yet ascertained how many sales you're making on a day, or it's jumping, you've just launched, you're getting your reviews in, and you maybe gone from 2 sales to 3 to 4 to 5 a day. It's going to be super difficult. So I want you to overstate that number. Now, it's better to have more stock at Amazon than not enough stock at the Amazon platform. And you'll always do better by having more units. Yeah, you'll pay more in storage fees, but you won't run the risk of going out of stock and losing all your ranking. Well, that's really all we care about, especially through the launch period. Many people lose ranking between that first order and their second order because they don't know when they should place that restock for their new inventory. So be super aware of this, guys, and use the formula 75 times your average daily sales to get the right amount of units you should be keeping at Amazon at any one time. Okay, so you started to sell your first Amazon FBA product successfully, and it's hovering around the $10,000 a month or more in revenue mark. It's selling consistently every single day, and you're making money on this product. What can you do now to supercharge your brand and really scale your business? Well, the first thing that I do whenever I look at a product which is selling well is I start to think about other variations of that product I can launch. So a variation on Amazon is anything with a different style, a different color, a different size, or a different type. So think about the product you're selling, and is there any other variations that you can add into that product to increase the digital footprint that you have and the real estate that you occupy in that category on Amazon? So when it comes to variations, my favorite one to do is a color variation. So let's say, for example, you're selling a product in white. Can you sell it in green? Can you sell it in blue? Can you sell it in orange? Can you sell it in pink? Can you sell it in gray? Think about what you can do to add color variations to your product. The reason I like to scale through variations is that you get to keep the BSR and the number of reviews that you have on your product and the review ratings. So it's super, super easy to scale an existing product with adding variations. You're not starting from scratch. You're not having to discount a bunch of products to get things off the ground. You're not having to do that whole launch phase again. You're already starting where you were with your existing product. And now you've got people coming to your listing who potentially wouldn't buy the original color or the original variation, but they're more interested in the other variation. So you're opening up your space to other audiences. So by far, adding a variation is one of the best ways to scale your business. The other way to scale your business is to look at your PPC advertising. What are you bidding on? What is really gaining traction? And where can you add to those campaigns to target a completely different audience? One of the ways I like to do this is to add a broad and phrase match to my PPC campaigns so that I can target a wider audience. So think about keywords that you're targeting that are super specific and think about how you can broaden those out to target a new audience. And if you've got brand registry at this point, you want to start running sponsored brand video campaigns and sponsored display campaigns. Those are going to increase your footprint and they're going to show you to a different audience to increase the level of conversions you can get on your product. Now, those are a bunch of different ways in which you can scale your brand. The other way you can scale your brand is just to keep selling. Keep that consistency up. keep selling, look at maybe moving your price slightly to increase the conversions, but just keep converting, keep selling, keep gaining reviews, get more reviews, increase your social proof on your product, and that will lead to more conversions. And ultimately, the best way to scale any brand on the Amazon platform is just to get sales. The more sales you get, the more likely Amazon are to put you at the top of search results, the more eyeballs on your page, the more conversions, the more reviews, and it's like a snowball effect. That is the best way to grow on the Amazon platform. And of course, don't run out of stock. How do you build a brand on the Amazon platform? Now, when I like to think about brand building, it is a little bit different to what everyone else thinks about brand building. So a lot of people think on Amazon, you have to be selling products in the same category or the same niche to build a brand. But I don't want you to think like that when you're a new seller. Think about creating products and launching products that sell and make money and make sense. A lot of the time, what you think is going to happen on Amazon is that you're going to sell a bunch of home and kitchen products and you're going to build a brand around that home and kitchen space. However, what actually happens in reality is that some products will simply not do as well as others. And what you should do instead is let the market dictate where your brand goes. If you launch a pet supplies product, for example, and it gets a bunch of sales, maybe then you should look at building a brand around the pet supplies niche. If you build a sports and outdoors brand and you launch a couple of products in that niche and that does really well, maybe you should look to build a brand around that. Let the market dictate what products are popular, what products are selling. Don't force it on Amazon. On Amazon, you never want to create the demand. You only want to look at existing demand and latch onto that and create brands around products that people are already buying. So think about that when you're going into the brand building stage. Think about where you can add value, but also think about where the market is really reciprocating the love that you're giving it and the products that you're launching in that space, because that ultimately is going to lead to you building a brand around that product. There's no point building a brand around a product that doesn't sell very well or a product that you don't see longevity in. You really need to wait for the market to decide which products of yours it likes and then really build a brand around that, look to add variations to that product, look to launch differentiated designs and really build that brand out to serve the customers in that category. That's how I approach building my brand on Amazon. Let's go through exactly how you're going to be finding your second product to sell on the Amazon platform. So you're going to be doing this after you've scaled your first product up to around $10,000 a month or more in revenue. And then we're going to focus on adding some variations to that product, getting it scaling to 20,000, 30,000 or more. And then we're going to launch a second product. Now, the common mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to finding that second product is they think that they have to launch a product which is in exactly the same niche as their original product. But I want you guys to forget about that. I want you to go ahead and find a second product which is profitable and that we can scale and build a brand around. Never focus on specific niches. Try and find a product that you know you could scale and will make money on the Amazon platform. That is your only goal. So let's get into it.
Okay, so you've gone ahead and launched your first product, it's going well, and now you're at a stage where you might be making $10,000 a month in revenue, you might be making a little bit more than that, you might be making a little bit less than that, but you're cash flowing well with your business, you've got enough to reinvest in your initial product, and you've got enough to restock and potentially look at getting a second product. So what do you do and what is the easiest way to find that second product? In this video, I'm going to go through the exact steps I take when it comes to finding my second product and how I approach that whole search. Disclaimer, it is going to be a little bit easier to find your second product, especially if you're looking to stick within the same niche as your first product. It does get a little bit easier. You have that knowledge and that know-how from the first product. You know exactly what to do, but now you can actually nail down your competitors, which is the technique I'm going to show you guys today with how to find your second product. So I'm going to use a technique called storefront rating. So essentially, my competitors have already done this. They've been selling the same product I'm selling, and chances are they're also selling other products. So the easiest way to get ideas about what second product you should sell, especially if you're looking to sell said in the same niche, is to use the storefront rating method. So how does this work? Well, this is their listing. I'm going to go ahead and scroll over to the buy box. Just under the buy box, the buy now button, it says ships from Amazon. So we know that this is FBA, sold by Yolin. So this is their storefront. So if I click this, it leads me into their storefront. And then I have to click this button here. So visit the Yolin storefront. And now I can see all of the different products to which Yolin is selling. So they're already selling the bamboo kitchen drawer organizer box or the Ziploc bag organizer. That is what I'm selling. And now they're also selling the Yolin trash bag dispenser. So let me click on that. It's got not many reviews, 28 reviews. Selling price is a little bit low for me, but I wonder if can I enter this market and create something a little bit more premium that stands out, that can do a better job than what they're doing. So let me click on this and see what's going on. So they've got 28 reviews, 4.4 stars, which is decent. Looks like a trash bag dispenser, which is cool. So now let me take this keyword, trash bag dispenser, and search it on a new Amazon search to see what that market looks like. So I've gone ahead and created this search here for trash bag dispenser. As you can see, there's a few different designs. A lot of them are between the $20 and $30 or below $20 range. I want to avoid these ones and I want to really launch a product in this space. Obviously, if everything else checks out, that hits the $30, $35 plus range. Because for me, that's really the sweet spot. The higher ticket you can go, the better it's going to be. So a lot of differentiation here, which shows me that a lot of people who are on page one have not many reviews. A lot of people have differentiated and it looks like they're selling well. So let me run the numbers on this and see if this is a good market. So average monthly revenue is a little bit low at $4,670. Average monthly units sold is 185. Average unit price, again, is a little bit low at $24. Average reviews 112. That is great. Average reviews are awesome. Cost per click is between 53 cents and $1.65, so generally on the lower end. I like cost per clicks that are below $1.50, so that works. Search volume for this specific keyword is 4,242, which is great as well. Let's look into some of the monthly revenues of some of these sellers. So we've got a lot of sellers doing above 10K, but the price point, $29.99 is probably the lowest I'd like to go with my price point. A lot of these are $14.99s, $19.99s, albeit they might not be exactly the same product. They are on that lower end of the scale, so we want to be careful about that. So my next piece of due diligence as to whether or not I want to launch this product would be, can I sell this product at a $30 plus price point? Because that is going to be where I can actually excel in this space. And that is going to be where I'm going to start making moves and cement myself whilst making a good margin, whilst making a good profit. So that would be my only key thing to do here. But guys, this technique is super useful. So if you're ever stuck with where to find your second product or how to launch it, just go ahead, do some storefront raiding, go into a competitor of yours and literally just dive into their storefront, see what other products they're selling. Chances are they've had the same thought process that you've had and they've gone and launched a product that is in the same space that you're thinking about. So rather than doing all of that product research, going ahead trying to find a brand new product, just raid the storefronts of your competitors and chances are you'll be able to find your second product.
All right, guys, it's Michael Backend. So at this point, you've launched a product. You might have even launched a second product. So what is your job now, right? And that's a really good question because you really are not going to be in the launch phase the majority of time long-term in your Amazon business. You're going to be launching products. You're going to be managing your business. But when you are not launching products, we want to make it very clear what your job is as an operator, business owner, how to grow your business, how to make sure your accounting is tight, how to really optimize PPC, how to make sure you're marketing the right way. So this next section is all about what to do when you're actively selling and how to really manage your business long term. Let's get into it.
So while you're running your actual business, one product, a really small brand is not necessarily going to be a full-time job, right? At least just on your Amazon business. Say you're doing Shopify, you're running TikTok and all that. Well, that might be a little more if you're going multi-channel and all of that. But all that to say, the majority of your time once you're launched and selling a product is spent managing the marketing and managing inventory. We really want to hone the skill of managing Amazon PPC. We showed you how to optimize and adjust bids and really manage the campaigns on Amazon Seller Central. But the issue in Seller Central, especially if you have a lot of campaigns, you have to go into each campaign separately. It's very hard to make macro changes. You can't really quickly bounce from campaign to campaign or see certain keywords in campaigns across. Let's say you have one keyword in multiple campaigns. You can't see that or see how it performs in certain places. So you want to get a tool, and we built this tool so that it had a PPC function that allows you to essentially make quick decisions across your entire suite of PPC without having to go into each product and campaign differently. So this is the Sniper PPC dashboard. It essentially just shows you, okay, what you spend, what you sold, your advertising cost of sale, and then you have active campaigns, ad groups, keywords, products. Similar information to Seller Central, just all in one place. Now here you have a graph as well that's really nice. The UX on SniperInsights is just so much better than Seller Central and most Amazon tools in the market. So let's dive in and actually look at the rest of the more technical parts of this module. So here is the ad manager. And like I mentioned, these are, this is all the campaigns in this suite of account where we have multiple demo Amazon seller accounts, but you can make campaign level changes right here. So you could turn this on or you could turn it off. And so you really have a lot of power. Being able to make fast decisions is a huge part of your PPC. Because if it takes, 5 minutes per campaign and you have 20 campaigns, all of a sudden just to optimize the campaigns before you even look at growing them or thinking about other strategies, you're gassed, right? So this really helps. You can click into individual campaigns, actually see, once you click into the ad group, you can see the keywords right here. There's no active keywords because it's paused, but you can see all the data in this section. So that's really cool. You can also turn on automation. You can click actions. You can change the daily budget, things like that, all from the SniperInsights PPC dashboard. You can also create campaigns. So you can go in, create a campaign. You can do an auto or a semi-auto campaign. It's a really, really easy tool to use, and it just really helps speed up your process. So that's a cool part of the PPC thing. Here's the PPC reports as well. This is a cool function. You can generate a report. It can be a keyword report or a store report, and you can pick any of your brands, and you can see more than just the, say you only are operating 4 out of your 10 PPC accounts through SniperInsights. You can see all the accounts and still pull the data from here. So moving on to the next tool, this is the change log. What you can see here, obviously we're not doing too much active PPC optimization on this demo account, but you could go in, really just see every single change you've made. So, if you're optimizing PPC and you're moving fast, which many of us are, then let's say you make changes, you kind of forget about them, and then a month down the road, you notice, oh, wow, my PPC is not performing as well as it was. What was the change that caused this? Boom, you go back here, see it. Now you can adjust it back. That is a massive time saver, being able to essentially have a ledger of what you're doing. So that's that. And then a really, really cool tool is our PPC autopilot. So essentially what this is if you sign up for this is SniperInsights actually managing your PPC with some automation, some hands-on management from our PPC experts. So what this does is really just open up your time, your ability as a business owner to focus on products, focus on scaling, while you'll have this covered. So that is the SniperInsights PPC suite of tools. Make sure you get to know these as soon as you're launched. You really, really want to turn your focus onto mastering Amazon PPC. All right, a very important topic, obviously, because if you can't track your bottom line, if you don't know how much money you're making, it's not going to go well, because you're not going to be able to, what we think is happening versus what is happening is very often wrong, good and bad. And so you really, really want a simple, clean accounting and profit statement where you can go in, see like real time, right? You don't want to have to do this manually every month or whatever reporting period, where you can see what's happening and make very fast decisions on anything not working. A key point. So a lot of times students who come to us, essentially what they suggest is using QuickBooks or using one of these traditional accounting softwares. Now, the problem with using an external accounting software is it's not fully synced up to your Amazon seller account. It's not built for an Amazon seller account. It's not built for an e-com brand the way tools are. So the data extraction, the data pull from Amazon to whatever accounting software it is always clunky, and you end up having to do a lot of work on your own. So that's why what I recommend, after in my former life, started my career as a CPA, as an accountant. And so I came into this thinking you got to have some robust accounting feature. And then I realized using SniperInsights or using a tool like SniperInsights, we're automatically hooked up to our Amazon seller account, our Amazon PPC account. All we have to do is input the unit cost of our products so that on every sale, the tool itself is already recognizing our sales revenue. They're recognizing the Amazon fees because that's from Amazon, it flows through. So your FBA fee, your referral fee, any Amazon PPC costs, and any non-transaction fee like inventory storage fees. Sometimes there's other fees that are charged on your account on Amazon. It takes that into account. So it's very simple. Like everything flows through naturally to the tool you're already using. Just learn how to use it for P&L. So let's go into it. This is the profits dashboard of SniperInsights. This shows you this demo account, and basically it's just showing gross revenue, it's showing orders, profits, store performance. You can do different time periods. You can set the range, store trends, your best sellers. And here is basically the profit and loss. So revenue, reimbursement, Amazon fees, you can drill down, shipping or refunds, shipping, chargebacks. It's really, really robust. It's the best Amazon P&L I've ever seen. And so you get all these graphs, you get inventory valuation, sales valuation. It's just an excellent, excellent tool. So let's go into the other tools just to fly through and just realize it's not going to take you as much time as you think because it already pulls from everything. So this is the one thing. So if you're selling, this is this organic lip oil, going back to here, we see the total revenue, right? And we see a bunch of costs coming out. But how did this tool pull the cost of goods sold? Because Amazon doesn't know how much we paid our manufacturer or how much we had to pay to get it shipped from overseas. Well, you just input it in the cost of goods sold. And so you input the selling price, cost of goods sold. You can do that right here. And then on every sale, it automatically takes out that cost of goods sold from the sales price in addition to Amazon fees. And that's really how you should be doing accounting. It does accounting for you because costs, going back to fundamental accounting, costs need to be recognized along with revenue. So that you essentially have to match revenue. That's how you do it. So here's the product master list. You could go in here and update all your products cost of goods sold, and then you can change it if it changes from time to time. It's very easy. And here is a report. You can basically generate a report, run different P&Ls, and get them in Excel if that's easier for you. You can also go to Expense Manager. This is the one thing. P&L the way it is, like right here, it's going to capture all your on Amazon direct costs. So your sales, everything related to the product sales. But what if you have software? What if you paid for photos? Even like anything, right? You're not going to recognize on your Amazon account or isn't an Amazon direct expense. Boom, you just put it in here, whatever it is. Let's say it was a software fee. Boom, amount, let's say $50. Let's say SniperInsights software, repeat. And then, what you can do if this is monthly, just do monthly, save it, boom, you're good. And just to show you, this is, if you go to the AMZ manager, here's the store names we have connected. Here's the marketplaces. And then this shows the advertising accounts connected, status, daily report, boom. It's got everything you need. Keep it simple, know your bottom line, but I would just use the tool that automatically has your data is connected to Amazon. Know how much you're making. All right, guys, let's talk about Amazon brand registry and why not, or what in particular brand registry is. The key to understand is now there's an option to be brand registered within about 2 weeks, whereas it used to take 6 to 12 months, really as long as the USPTO takes to approve a trademark, because that was just unreasonable. Amazon now has an offering that gets you brand registry in 14 days. FBA University has an offering to get you brand registry within 14 days. If this is something you want to do, we'll get into what that is in a second. Just know it doesn't take too long anymore. So what is brand registry? Essentially, what brand registry is you applying for a trademark or using a service to apply for a trademark with the USPTO. This would mean trademarking your brand, because what you're doing there is showing legitimacy to Amazon, showing legitimacy to the US government, XYZ. And so basically the trigger to be eligible for brand registry, whether it's on your own, through the USPTO, through IPL Accelerator, through FBA University, is that trademark application. The benefits of brand registry. Main benefits are A+ content. This is the section under the listing where you can display a bunch of brand creative assets, photography, a lot of different modules. It's really cool because the listing photos up top, those are very restricted to what you can do, size, and such. A+ content, you basically have free reign. You can market in a bunch of different ways. You can put GIFs, a little bit of video, you can cross-sell, you can link to other products. It's awesome. You also have brand protection on your listing, virtual bundles where you can list products that aren't shipped together to Amazon to be able to sell together. That's something really cool. You can build a storefront. You can use Amazon Vine. You have enhanced ads, sponsored brand ads, sponsored display ads, and video ads. So that's really big as well. Your ability to run different areas of ads. Without brand registry, you can just run sponsored products, which, are still the main type of Amazon PPC you're going to use. But these sponsored brands, sponsored display, video ads, these all convert higher if you do them right. Not if you don't. So they're not something to play around with unless you have the assets. But just know these can really help your brand. And secondary benefits. One is Amazon attribution. This just means you can track links and see off Amazon marketing. You can list products without a UPC. It helps, it just makes listing products, listing variations much easier. You can blacklist users that have infringed. So say a competitor, I don't know, you just know a competitor's email and you think they might be hostile. You can ban that email from buying and interacting with your brand on Amazon. I've never had to use that, but it could be helpful, right? Transparency program, Amazon Posts, that's kind of Amazon's own social media outlet. It's not that popular, but it does convert as well. Amazon Live is actually much more effective. And so you have access to all of that. To highlight, A+ content is a really, really big difference that you get with brand registry and you don't have without. This is the difference in what your listing looks like, where the product description would be on non-brand registered listing. It's pretty far down a listing, right above reviews. Just look at how beautiful Nature's Willow, this brand we picked to demo. Look how well they use the space with their brand. You see exactly what their product is. Itch relief cream. You get to see it in different environments. There's some text that if we were on a listing, we could read and really identify way more information versus the one on the right. It's just like, it's very hard as we're in 2024 now. People's attention spans are really low, right? So a block of text is just, the readership is so low. Even if you have great info, you're not getting a lot of value out of it. So this is just to illustrate the difference in A+ content. Now, how to get brand registered. Let's go back to this. Proof of trademark or pending. All you got to do is say you were to do this on your own, like I have. You just have to submit a trademark or apply for a trademark, with the USPTO. A lot of people think you need a lawyer or law firm to do that. You don't. You just want to know what you're doing. And so I came from a background of CPA where CPAs and lawyers are very similar in terms of legality, a lot of BS contracts. Anyway, I was able to do that and it's not that hard. So just know you don't need to go through some fancy pantsy service, even our own. You don't need it. You can do this on your own. Another need is you need a business email. And you need a website for your brand. This can be an Amazon listing though, so don't think you need to create a website just for this. The options to get brand registered. Here's Amazon's IP Accelerator program. You can actually find this in the apps in Seller Central. Service is trademark. Law firm that I've used and some of our students have used is Idea Legal. The cost for this is between $950 and $1,150. That includes the trademark, right? So a trademark itself is about $300 to $350 to apply for. So this is the all-in cost for the Amazon IP Accelerator program. In the old days, 12 to 18 months, waiting for the USPTO to respond. And you know how governments are with speed of work. Now, with Amazon IP Accelerator, it's 10 to 14 days. So that's how you would do that. FBA University offers this same exact service as Amazon's IP Accelerator program. Our service is $750, so you save $200 to $400 on service, and it's the same exact process as Amazon. So a couple things you want to note if you are going to do this. Make sure the trademark goes through, because you'll go through the process and then you'll probably be brand registered in a couple weeks and you won't hear back from the USPTO in months. but you still want a trademark because you already paid, right? And so don't like think, okay, I'm brand registered, I'll just ignore any emails that say, hey, we need this document or whatever. These costs are a tax write-off for your business as well, and any fees that go to maintaining are also a write-off. The biggest benefit right off the bat, just to summarize, is premium A+ content and ability to register in Vine, which helps get your product reviews right away, and then use Amazon ads. So that is how you apply for a trademark, get brand registered, and really, really help your brand. Hey, squad, as we come near the end of this Amazon FBA tutorial, I wanted to let you know FBA University Amazon Accelerator 2.0 program. So this is a hands-on 12-month mentorship program we run and have been running for the past couple of years. Pretty wild success. So take it from people who've, guinea pigged multiple brands themselves, had a lot of students to teach and also learn from just through their brand. And we've essentially refined this to a playbook, a set of strategies, a set of steps that really maximize your chance at success. And that's why a lot of students in our program launch, hit 10, 20, 30K pretty much right out the gate. And a lot of people are doing well over that monthly, upwards of 50K per month. And some have even gone on to quit their 9-to-5. So this Amazon Accelerator program is 12 months. You get unlimited one-on-one coaching calls with myself and Ryan, as opposed to a lot of programs out there. One, a lot of programs just have group calls where there's 30 plus people on a call. I mean, can't get real questions answered like that. So that, and you are getting 2 calls with myself and Ryan. We don't have other coaches take calls or other people take calls. And so you are learning from the people who actually trained you and are essentially running the business and the marketing. You have a private Slack group that's managed daily. You have a 14-hour video course, private label playbook, product verifications for ones you send, we analyze on our side. We have the FBA University Vault, where we have 50 plus Excel docs, PDF, SOPs, discounts, and a lot more. Lifetime access to the course and the video material. We do have monthly live Q&As. It's a cool community aspect. You get to meet people, hear about other people's brands and such. Also, we have a special offer for brand registry inside the program. We have a list of vetted manufacturers, photographers that we've tested in our own brands. We have limited spots. So make sure if this is something you want to do, it's 12 months. We're with you for really, most students launch at least 3 products, really have the time to build a brand, build something that's sustainable, build something that could be worth 6 figures plus by that point. Here's just a couple of results from our recent round of the program. Dean, it is a while ago now, but he was doing $22,000 a month, really within his first year. I'm sure he's doing much more than that now, but he is well over his year. Ozier, he's still in the program today. He actually had the biggest first week launch we've ever seen. He did over 11K in sales his first week selling with 1 product. You see Pablo, he's pretty much doing 20, 30K on repeat every month with only 2 products in his catalog and really joined with 0 prior experience. That's the thing as well. Most students have no prior experience, didn't come from e-commerce. Most people just are 9-to-5ers who want a better life. And here's just a couple more results. Cody is doing 20K a month. Cameron's doing 20K plus most months. He's still in the program as well. So if you're interested, link is in the description. Book a call. We'd love to hear from you. Let's get back to the finale of the tutorial.
Welcome to the bonus section of this Amazon FBA private label course, where I'm going to be talking about the additional sections that we have and additional tools we have inside of SniperInsights, our very own product research software tool that we built in-house at FBA University. So we've pretty much covered the product research sections, sales optimization, product research, hot products, our Chrome extension, keywords, reverse ASIN lookups, tracking, etc. So now I want to talk about the additional tools we haven't yet covered that SniperInsights has, which you won't find in other product research software tools and other software out there for Amazon. So number one thing that I want to talk about is the profits dashboard. Now, this is somewhere where you can hook up your Amazon store and you can go through and see all the key factors and key metrics that you want to look at with your store and your brand, etc. So we've got total gross revenue, today's orders, today's profits. We've got our store performance, gross revenue, cost, net profit, and you can put in all your cost of goods sold as well, so you can get an accurate net profit breakdown. We've got our customized report here. We've got our gross revenue over the last 30 days, our cost, our net profit. These are our store trends. You can see how many units were sold on each week, each day. And as we go through, you can also track the net profit as well. Here you can see your best sellers of your products. Obviously, we've only got one product on this store. This is just a dummy store, by the way. But we've got ability to add in additional products. This will pull everything from your store. So you can see all that. And then we have the summary. So yesterday, 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, month to date, and year to date. And then there's also a PPC summary, so you can see where your sales are coming from, whether it's PPC or organic. So our PPC gross revenue, number of units sold through PPC and our ACOS, and also the organic versus PPC split over the last day, last 7 days, last 30 days, and last 90 days. And you can change this and customize it how you want. We've also got the organic versus PPC graph. So you can see the red line is the PPC spend, the blue line is the PPC revenue, and the green line is the organic revenue. There's also the sales valuation. So this forecasts how much your inventory is worth, how much profit you're going to be getting on that inventory, so you can track this as well. And then finally, a forecasting piece where we're looking at suggested restocks, lead time, number of days left of inventory that, before you go out of stock, and also the number of inventory that we have, plus the suggested restock date, which there is the 27th of December. So that would be today, me recording this video. So this is the profit section. It's a very comprehensive section that goes through exactly everything that you need. It's great for forecasting. And if you have a bunch of different products, it's great to see which ones are performing better than others. So you can see where you want to restock on some, you might want to drop some, or you might want to push PPC on others that are performing really, really well. So that's the profit section. The next section I want to talk about is inventory forecasting. So inside inventory forecasting, exactly the same on the previous dashboard that you saw, but we've got all our ASINs in here. We've got our average daily sales, inventory, days left, lead time, suggested restock, and suggested restock dates. So I won't go through that again. The next thing that I want to look at is our PPC dashboard. Now this basically shows us our PPC spend, the number of PPC sales we've got, plus our ACOS. And again, you'll have all your ASINs in here. You can see here your highest ACOS campaigns, your highest spend keywords in those campaigns. So for example, spa gifts inside our broad campaign is the highest spending with an ACOS of 121% for this particular store, this particular product. And then we get the organic versus PPC split again, plus the organic versus PPC graph. Next thing I want to talk about is the ads manager. So within our PPC dashboard, we can see all of the different ads that we've got running. We can see whether they are enabled and running right now or whether they've been paused. We can see their daily budget, spend, sales, ACOS, our ROAS, impressions and clicks, plus our cost per click, click-through rate, and click rate. So this is a great place if you want a one-stop shop where you can come and see all of your different campaigns for all the different products. You can see them in there. So this is active campaigns, you've got archived campaigns, and also pending campaigns. This is a great place to just get a quick snapshot of where you're at, and you can filter these by ACOS, by ROAS, by spend, sales, etc. So everything that you get inside the campaign manager inside Amazon, you just have it inside SniperInsights as well, but it's a little bit easier to look at because I know the campaign manager can be a little bit confusing at times. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the PPC autopilot service that we have at SniperInsights. So within this service, we'll do your PPC for you. So having your PPC on autopilot means you spend less and sell more. I know PPC is one of the hardest things to get your head around as a new seller. And as you get more established and you add more ASINs and more SKUs to your store, to your brand, it can get a little bit confusing when it comes to managing and really going through and optimizing all these different PPC campaigns. So if you want us to do your PPC for you, we do have that service. It's the PPC autopilot. So we do all the research for you. We use machine learning to optimize your bids, and we continually improve the service as well to get you the highest ROAS, the highest number of sales for the least amount of advertising spend. So if that is something that you guys are interested in, take a look at this service. It's something that we offer. We can jump on a call and talk about our different price plans for getting onto this service. But those are all the additional tools that we have inside SniperInsights. Obviously, the main things that you're going to be looking at are the product research and sales optimization, because that's really where we're doing the research and we're looking at the keywords, doing reverse ASIN lookups, and also tracking our keyword rank after we've launched to make sure that we are showing up on page 1 or page 2 for most of the keywords that we're looking to get indexed for. That is everything inside SniperInsights. We do also have a 7-day free trial. So if you are interested, just head over to SniperInsights.com and check us out. 7-day free trial, no obligations. get involved, check it out. I guarantee it's going to be better than the product research tool you're using right now.
Boom, that's a wrap. We've just given you everything you need to start your own Amazon FBA private label business. The only thing that's left is for you to go out there and make it happen. We're still here if you need our support, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future updates, and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when we drop the next video. I want to wish you guys the best of luck, and I want all of you to go out there and smash it. So go out there, change your life, change your family's lives, and start selling on the Amazon platform.